South and Bend. Charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon, you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moreover, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Funjama, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat Cape Town, congratulate my brother, to spoon. You got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You want to get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you got today?
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Yes, what you got today?
Spoon. Spoon TV. Spoon.
Bada.
On the spoon to get
Yes,
your
what
information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television.
From the CEO. Yes, I. A special one from the CEO. Stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the South and Bend. Charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell
Well, folks,
happening in Monrovia.
welcome to another edition
In Africa.
of the biggest thing
Just to
that takes place on radio or TV and online at about this time.
cry for starvation, just to spoon.
Spoon Talk. And we are live on Spoon 107.5 FM. Spoon TV, Fabric 101.1 FM, and TV2, and a Super 95.5 FM.
Decision, just
Also live on Super TV Channel 10.
you want to know what happening in
You
it.
can join us on Spoon Talk Live via YouTube.
Yeah,
My name is Aaron Kuban, your sound producer for tonight's edition of the program. And tonight, as usual, promises to be fascinating and
you from
very much inspiring. Okay, and let me now go across the table and say, this is not across the table. I'm going across the sea, the Atlantic Ocean, and say, welcome to Dr. Richardson.
Aaron, how are you doing? Aaron, how are you doing?
I'm fine. James already make it used to honor, so God money me.
Yes, 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 yes. It's good to see you today. And you are so right. I like your introduction. It is the biggest talk show. A lot of, I'm sure you realize it, you're in Monrovia, but I realized it when I was in Monrovia. A lot of people come to us to get the information, and we don't take it for granted. We are very um, grateful for having the opportunity to be able to provide information to Liberians. So I really like that opening. If you want to hear any kind of news, especially
Mm.
relating to the progress of our country, this is the place to be. We'll bring you the news. It is up to you to decide what's best for the country, you Liberians. So it's good having you and seeing you today. How's things over there?
Yes, things are relatively okay, except for the issue of the rice. Reported shortage of rice in the country. Uh, just from my own experience, I've not been able to see rice to where I usually buy it because I buy it by bag. And so I've gone to where I usually buy over, I think about 3 times now, and the guys keep telling me that there is no rest from the suppliers who should bring it to him. But the trending news is that the House of Representatives leadership had a meeting with importers in the country. They had a meeting with importers surrounding the reports of rice shortage in the country. And one of the things they were keyed about is the report of importers demanding uh, those individuals who are going to buy rice to buy other products from them. There have been reports of some importers demanding that people buy flour, or buy a bag of maybe few bags of sugar,
Mhm.
before you can buy rice. And so that was one of the issues, according to the release that came out of the House of Representatives. That was one of the things the lawmakers, the leadership of the House of Representatives, to be specific, was very, very keyed upon. And the committee sent out a warning against individuals who will be involved into such a habit, even though some of the importers there complained that, according to them, there is a dredging going on at the port, the free port of Monrovia, that causing some other bigger vessel from coming to Liberia. That's one of the reasons they gave. And so they gave the assurance to the committee that smaller vessels might bring in rice along the way, uh, but bigger ones will not bring in rice. And so the issue about the rice crisis is serious. It's very serious. Let me say, good evening to the CEO and James too as well. Yeah, but the
Well,
rice crisis is something very serious.
okay. Dr. Richardson,
Yes, yes,
green all over, right?
yeah.
You eating green today.
Not
I know
far.
you. I know you're celebrating the Eagles win. AB
No.
don't want to hear this one because AB won Pittsburgh, but it's okay. I know
Hmm.
you're an Eagles fan. That's fine.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
James and Aaron, they just you guys don't know when we talk about Eagles. You don't know, right?
Hmm.
You have any idea, Aaron? Aaron, adjust your camera, Aaron. You're too far. Adjust your camera. It's like you gotta bring it down a little bit. There you go.
Okay, it's much better now, right?
Yeah, you know when we say Eagles, you know what we're talking about.
No,
Hold on one second. I'll show you something my dad's
that's
on
very
TV.
Huh?
special.
That's why.
So can it guess?
Yeah. Look at the Eagles Avenue.
No,
That's nice.
actually,
Eagles.
my dad was a Eagle fan. This
Eagles
is
fan?
Yeah,
Okay.
this is one of the things he left in the room here.
That's good.
Yeah.
My son
What is that?
Stanton is an Eagle fan. That's a football team, American football. They're in
Oh,
Philadelphia. Yeah. You have another one, they call the Steelers, Pittsburgh. They're in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Eagles in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So they got two teams,
Mhm.
American football.
Tell him that Abraham likes Steelers.
So Abraham loved the Steelers, and
Ah,
they always beat the Steelers because and now one of the main player, the quarterback left. He retired.
So Abraham will have a bad season, a very bad season.
Let Abraham, he listening to you. Y'all talking. Oh
He
my.
will have a bad season. They will beat them, you know. But the Eagles won. I'm a fan of the Dallas Cowboy.
Oh, are you
You know,
ill?
yeah, I like the Dallas Cowboy. Seriously, I do.
What is
But
the
I'm
statistic?
worried right now because the quarterback got hit so badly, and he won't be playing. So
When was the last time they won Super Bowl?
that's a good question. But they will win.
Mm.
They will. We
Have
keep at
faith.
least they're better than Lone Star though. So
Oh God.
they are better than Lone Star. So yeah. So that's a good thing. But Aaron Kuben, James Goodday. I heard that James Cook put to the screen today. Well, no, Baines Davagi, I think that's what it said. Kefiko,
Yeah, I kept.
Kev, how you doing?
Well, I, me, I'm IU fan. I'm not. I,
You don't like the American football?
well, I'm a, I'm a local guy, so I'm not.
Do you like if
I,
you say you local, it means you got a leg of football
yeah,
team? Yeah.
I'm not. No, I'm not up there like you guys. Me, I'm IU fan, so
Yeah, we're
me.
not talking about Liberia soccer now. We're
Me,
talking about
English
American football,
football,
though.
around, we enjoying you guys.
So
You and
you do
you and
not follow American football.
you and the Queen woman. So y'all do your thing up there. We
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't think you want to start early on us though.
Whatever.
We get 11 minutes into the program. I don't think you want to start
I
early on us.
now and I love I'm happy that your quarterback is down.
Yeah, I know a lot of you guys are happy.
Your rival to us, we're in the same zone.
I know you guys are happy that
you're a Raven fan, Kev?
that's Pipe
We
Scout
have
You a
that Pipe
Raven?
Scout down.
no. Ravens is not in our
The
zone.
man the man is a Redskin fan because
But it's commandos now. They call it the commandos
yeah,
because
they call it the Commodores. Yeah, Redskin.
Rescue,
Yeah.
Rescue,
They changed their name.
change it. So I
Oh,
was
wait 1 second.
at
Yeah.
Cowboy.
Yeah.
We get the Eagles,
Yeah.
and we get New York Giant, not Jets. Giant. New York get two teams. So
Yeah, New York not get two. New York get three teams. New York get the Jets, the Buffalo, and
yeah,
the Giants.
yeah. So,
Yeah,
but because of the Eagle looking hot this season because
the Eagles doing extremely well, but I don't think
they beat
I
us
really
here.
don't think they're gonna go anywhere though. They start like hot fire and they go down.
They hot. The Eagle hot.
Yeah,
The
but
Eagle hot.
I pray that somebody who should hurt the quarterback. He's a good player, by the way. I
No,
want them to hurt him, and I pray that they hurt him. That would be fine. When you get a trouble player like Joey, I butt the other guy in the hair, in the mouth. I had somebody so butt him. The man giving Joey, I had on Joey, I just hair butt him. Poop. Easy. One time. You know. But that's the way it is. We want to say welcome to all of our followers. Charlene, LIB, we want to welcome you. We want to bring in our rude boy, Linda. How you doing, Linda? Good to see you, Linda. We want to bring in Francis Tamba. Ohaji Taga. Ohaji, how you doing, my brother? All is well. Washington Commando from Thomas Noted Sonowat. Want to welcome you. Eric Kwame, Quebec Bay, Jala Washington, Man Jenny's son, Tanis Seville, Otero Tool. Want to welcome every one of you. Thank you for joining us. We'll be having a wonderful conversation today. I believe Akaris Mosi Gray will be joining us. Mariah Yakula, Sim Toman and George, Benjamin Senvi. We'll be discussing a lot of different issues tonight. Something that Senator Nukwe said, it was on the front page newspaper. We want to discuss a couple of the headlines on the front page newspaper. Senator Nukwe denied supporting Nathaniel Mage's senatorial ambition. You understand that rumors going around that Nathaniel McGill probably will be running as for the seat in McGibby. Then Senator Emmanuel Nukwe said, no, 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 no. I didn't support that. And we got a video to show you guys. We also going to talk about our brother George Wisner. Finally, he endorsed Arizona Cummings 2023. He did that yesterday. Tewon Gonglo making the news. He said he blamed what is happening in the George Weah administration on Madame Salif. Councillor Tewon Gonglo blamed ex-President Salif for bad governance, corruption under this current administration. That's a big one. Uh, Mr. Cummings received another endorsement from the vice chairman of from PLP. Mr. Cummings received David Gumbo Benito endorsement. Mr. Cummings just collecting the endorsement small, small from every angle. You know, Mr. Cummings, Kev, you got to be very concerned. Mr. Cummings just grabbing them one by one, small, small, small here, small there. He grabbing them. Mr. Cummings said, I take any endorsement. Every endorsement is good for me at this time. And I was surprised that this guy left from Daniel Cassell and he went to endorse Mr. Cummings. And Mr. Cummings said, I heard his people saying that he will refuse no endorsement. James. He said even the animals can come endorse and he will take them.
The party.
I mean, let me finish reading my headline, but I beg you back. Let me finish reading my headline. I know I love you, friend. I beg you back.
I'm not asking a question, so when you read your headline, you put it in. I just wanted to ask you a question.
Let me finish reading my headline. I beg you back. I know when you hear the comments near your body go clack, 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 clack. Let me read my headline, man. The man, listen, Reverend James, the man made me forget. James Koita. Honorable Kev made me forget. I gotta go back over. Barbara, how you doing, Barbara Cooper? Who your friend you want me to unblack? I will unblack your friend because of you, Barbara. But it's very serious. I was very surprised to hear from Piso City Ta, gender minister. She is calling for the dismissal of those Liberian diplomats that were allegation of rape in South Korea. Liberian official held for rape in South Korea. They are not claiming that they are being framed. The story is not a good story for them. They say they are not guilty. They were set up. So, Pisota, credit to her. You can say what you want. We can discuss it. But I think she came out strong on this one. Minister of Gender calls for dismissal of officials held for rape in South Korea. I think this is big. Maybe tomorrow George will say something different on this one. But I think it's about time that she spoke and she's doing the right thing in the right direction. And I believe Piso City Ta, listen, read. It's on front page newspaper. Our man, Rotten CA, putting out a lot of stories. But this one, she gave it a Piso. It's about time that she starts speaking on these things and she's in the right direction. Lastly, we got video from the Freeport about this rest issue. About the whole rice issue. They begin to unload the last 5,000 metric tons. They begin to unload those things from the port. But again, information coming to us now, changing the story. I want you to sit back. I want you to relax. This is your program. This is the Spoon Talk. We believe Akaris Mose Gray will be joining us. We have so many questions as we move towards election. Today is the 28th of September. Tomorrow will be the 29th. Will be my little sister's birthday. The Bawede. In crew when they say Bawede, the last baby. Tomorrow will be her birthday. All right. I want to be grateful to God for Justina Witherspoon Adjivon as we celebrate her birthday tomorrow. Guys, Dr. Richardson, Kev Hassan, St. Thomas and George, James Goodday Flomo say he's out. Let's have a wonderful show. May the Lord watch between me and thee while we asking one another for the beautiful show. Amen. We have said our prayer. You want to say something, Kev? Let me start with you because you try to interrupt me. Tell me what's on your mind. Then we'll go into the conversation.
No, it was just a side.
What's on your mind?
It was just
what's on your mind?
Yeah, it was not that important. I would just want to remind you that there's a party called the Green Party in America. They run for every election. So if somebody endorsed on that party, what I mean? So please.
But yeah, okay, so I agree with what you're saying, but what's on your mind though? Talk to
Yeah,
us
yeah.
for today, real quick.
What you just said about the pictures that we do have from the free pool that, and and rice that been, and you know unloading from the vessel to trucks and around. So I know we're gonna play that video. So rice coming in and rice on the way coming, and there will be rice in our country. So I don't think we need to panic. It's not a doomsday, as some people may like to make it. But I think that we do have rice. Um, so mostly that's what I want, and to open up with for us, to discuss. And you talk about the Nukwe. I would love to get into what he trying to say, but I think he is really out of touch what going on in his county.
All right, thank you very much. Sintumani, can you send me that new quick clip again? I think it was in the chat room. If you can find it quick. Dr. Richardson, what's on your mind, Dr. Richardson, as we get ready to discuss issue concerning Liberia?
Well, it's good to be here today. The first thing I'm thinking about is the rice issue. I heard Aaron say that he is struggling to get rice. He's been to his place of purchase about 2 times, I think, and they didn't have any rice as he usually gets them. To me, I think whether there's rice in a warehouse or not, it's good to be able to hear the stories of Liberians to understand their experience. That's what is important to me. I understand that we've had 30,000 tons of rice put in a warehouse a couple of days ago and it's all gone. There's 5,000 more tons of rice. So I'm picturing if 30,000 tons of rice could go like this, 5,000 is nothing. So I hope there's more coming. Yesterday on the show, I heard someone say there's more coming, but it bothers me that we didn't plan for this. We're always waiting for crisis to move our leadership. And I don't think that's good leadership at all. I mean, everything that I've done in my capacity as a leader, there's always projection. There's always what if there's a plan A and a plan B. You shouldn't wait until the last minute to be making plans. So it's bothersome to me. Secondly, which I'll wait and then we're gonna go more into the issue about the rape case in Korea is concerning. I heard you say that the gender minister made a comment, but to me, this is just in addition to what Liberian women experience on a regular basis. So let's go more into it because that story, I read that story. There's some fishy things that are just not adding up to me, and we can explore that a little bit more.
Joji, what's on your mind, sir?
Well, the trending issues. First of all, is the issue about the. I mean, just the issue about the rape issue first. The alleged allegation about rape on the our representative at the LMO, Ambassador Owens Brown. Well, the law says you are proven innocent until you are proven guilty in a court of competent jurisdiction. So right now there are allegations, and they are saying that it's not true. So we want to hear from the investigations and hear what's going on from in that case. Uh, I know I was in touch with him the last 2 days, but he only all he said that in the hands of God, in the hands of God. So we'll wait to hear. But the last 15 hours, I've lost touch with him. I don't know what's happening. But we'll wait to hear from that. But the general minister, for me, I was like, my first time hearing her come out swinging on a strong position about rape. My concern, my disappointment was there have been several cases of rape in Liberia under this administration, and I have not see any forceful response from her until this issue came up. So I'm really concerned that at least we should treat all cases of rape education the same. Come with be very responsive and very forceful in our response. Concerning the issue with the rice, I know that I was told that I was informed that one ship vessel called MV Soul is expected in Monrovia with 41 metric tons of rice of 25 kg by October 15. But I heard this vessel is passing through the port of Elizabeth in South Africa before heading to Liberia. So we wait a year from that. The vessel is expected in South Africa October 10th. So we're going to monitor it carefully and see that when it will reach to Monrovia, hopefully they'll get it on time for people to have the right issue taken care of. And concerning the issue about Nukwe and former Minister McGill, well, that's politics, Nukwe, he's from a different party, and we don't know where he'll be heading to in this election. And anything can happen right now, as I was telling you guys. People are making the decision. They are going from one party to another, and endorsement is all over the place. And right now, from what we see, apparently Cummings is picking up a lot of momentum. Endorsement coming his way. So we know what's happening. And there are a lot of people who came on this show recent times, and when you question them, they were very measured in their response. So because they want to perhaps muddy the water for themselves for tomorrow. So we're watching everything. But until the various parties' tickets are all fit up, we won't know what's happening. So we're going to see what happens after all these conventions and the nomination of the vice presidential candidates, and we'll know where election's heading. But for now, we know is we are Boyka, Gonglo, Cummings. They are the one who everyone watching. So let's see what happens.
Thank you very much. Let's get into the conversation. And first of all, I want us to do this. I want us to open the phone line. Let's hear from the people concerning this rest issue. We can sit here and have the conversation, watch clips. I mean, that's our own story. But let's hear from the real people. Aaron, can you come on, Aaron? Hey, Aaron, open the phone line. And I think our followers are going to agree tonight. Let's hear from the Liberian people. Are you able to buy rice like before? Do you think it's a problem? Do we have a rice crisis? Is that an issue in buying rice? Is there rice on the market? So I just listen, guys. We'll discuss everything else, but let's hear from Liberian tonight. Those that in Liberia, let's hear from them. Aaron's come on, open the phone line, Aaron. Come on and let's hear them for us to discuss the issue. Well, where are you, Aaron?
I'm coming on.
Thank you, James. Can you put us on the YouTube, please? Aaron, you coming on? What happened? Something holding you back?
His camera.
Yes. So Junior is trying to work on that. So
we are live on the YouTube. Aaron, you have to press the camera.
Oh, Fred, I got that one call. So I'll be on black. I got that.
Agatha, when I call, Agatha was cursing us yesterday.
I'm on.
Agatha cannot insult us and want to be on our show. Aaron Kuben, let's ask the Liberian people tonight. Welcome to the show, Uncle Pete. Tumwa, welcome. Gamen Kesari, welcome. Before we even get into the conversation, we want to ask Liberian, is there rice on the market? Yes or no, real quick. Are you able to buy rice if you get in the store? Real quick, open the phone line. Let's take a few calls.
So 077771075 055101075 are the numbers to call. Let's take this very first person. Welcome.
Hello, how you doing?
Fine, thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. For the issue of the rice, there is no rice on the market you see but there. Only by cup in the market.
Just let us do something real quick.
Hello. Listen to the CEO.
Yeah, I'm backing you. Don't call me your name, but just tell me where you're calling from.
Okay.
Where are you calling from?
Yeah.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Broadville. I'm always in town and in Broadville.
Okay, you calling?
Come out.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Isaac, you calling from Broadville?
Hello?
Are you buying rice by cup?
Hello?
Did you go to Douala Market and no rice?
Hello?
Everyone, talk to him.
It seems like... Hello.
Yeah.
Did you get the question?
No.
Where do you usually get rice from? And have you gone there and you've not seen rice there?
All the fuller shop, Iron Gate, Virginia, you didn't find rice. All the fuller shop down, Douala, you not find rice. Only thing you find is the cup. Whether they get in the showroom, how it come out, nobody know.
Thank you very much. Let's take the next call.
Okay.
Let's take the next call real quick. Is there rest on the market? Are you able to buy rest real quick?
Hello. Hello, are you there? What's going on? Hello?
Hello.
Okay, you are live. Go ahead.
Hello?
Hello, you are live. Go ahead.
Okay, this is John Mambo from Ghana City. Look, absolutely there's no rest on the Liberian market. If you go buy rice, you won't believe it. Buy 100 bag of rice for Fuali right now, you have to buy 3 TV that cost $120 for one. Swa has some few bag of rice. Swa is selling the rice for $17, but they will mark $13 on the receipt in secret. If you're not part of the Kuhu, you won't buy it.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Let's take another person here. You are in flight. Mistaking your cut you up. Let's take this person. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello, you are live. Go ahead.
Your man called from the Sukumu Bell.
Okay, go ahead.
Brother, no rest in the country. The rest issue is a serious issue. Nobody should play politics with it. Funny is selling 20 bags for now. They say 20 bags for each person for
you
now.
mean only 20 bags? And those are
only
selling 20 bags.
That you get from Funny. And then the other color just says, Swa is selling bags. You go to the office, you see they're selling bags. To count, they will refer you to another person. And that person will charge you that before you get rest, you will pay $13.50 and $15. The money, when you see come, you only see $13 market there. What the other money is, you don't know. So it is serious.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you right now.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Let me take this person here. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello, you are live. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you. I'm Prince El Kula. Concerning you of District 4, Mosul County.
Go ahead.
Yes. Hello, James. Our
speaking with Aaron. Go ahead.
We don't really know because our stable food is hard to find in the market. Everywhere you go, they will tell you there is no rice. And even
where did you go to find rice? Where did you go and you didn't see it?
Me, I live at FDA Junction. Where at FDA Junction, we have a Sarah store, and from FDA to Omega Market, it's not any distance. From Omega Market to Rela, it's not any distance. But when you travel on the drop places, or people always telling you that there is no rice. So we are calling upon our leaders to make sure and
Aaron, hold on one minute. Well, let's take you to that, brother, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hold on right there, Aaron. Folks, if you're on the radio, fabric, super, spoon. The question is, are you able to buy rice? Can we find rice on the market? Yes or no? Just tell us where you're calling from and answer the question. We want more calls tonight to have a good conversation. We want the government to hear you. If you're calling from Magibby, from Bond County, from Grand Bassa, wherever you're calling from, can you buy rice? Are there rice on the market? Can you, are you seeing the bag of rice? Are you seeing the cup of rice? You need to talk to us. You need to call. Liberians need to hear you tonight. Aaron, take more calls real quick.
Okay, let me take this call here. Welcome. Hello? This person, welcome.
Hello?
Yes, you are live. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm teaching the position for 15 days.
Go ahead.
There's no right now. I have to call me. I'm party home.
Hello? Oh,
Thank you. He answered. Move to the next caller quick.
Welcome.
Hello?
Hello, you are live.
Yeah, I'm Taylor.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, today I went. Today I'm going to people fighting for rest. They beat online for me. Now I say I'm sick. Police beating all over. They can't get a rest. So criminal. I think that they raising people pocket. Other things. Some people going off. I said they beat me. I went off and off. And the only thing I'm doing to survive to send my son to school.
Okay.
Thank you. The next caller, please.
Hello, welcome. Wow. Hello, welcome.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Let's hear you.
Yeah, well, my name is Uncle JK. I call you from Chicken Country this evening.
Go ahead, Uncle JK.
Yeah, thank you very kindly. I listen to people, more especially the president of this country, arriving in this country to tell us that the rumor that
Uncle
you're hearing
JK,
that the rest press is Sunday is
did you get the question?
I get the question. If I'm buying rest, of course I'm buying rest. Yesterday I bought one single bed for 3,500. In Chicken Factory right here.
Okay, listen to me, Uncle JK.
Uncle JK, listen to you. Listen.
Uncle JK, listen, and please ask him the question. Where in Chicken Soup Factory you bought the rice? Can we go there now? Is it open? Is rice available at that spot? Where in Chicken Soup Factory? Can you ask him? And how much did he pay it again?
Chicken Soup Factory did you buy the rest? Do we still have rest there?
No. In fact, this morning when we went, there were 4 bags. To the full shop, 4 bags. In fact, 3 persons were there already, paying for it, and I went there because my sales.
Uncle JK. So Uncle JK, Uncle JK, real quick, let me ask you the question, my brother. Yes, thank you. You have 4 bags. Your body 4 bags. There's no rest there right now. So can you tell us
that particular shop, no rest in it?
Do you have any other place? Do you have any other place?
To verify the information I'm giving, the moment you pass the junction small, so Phillips, they get a shop on near the Phillips shop. No rest. Then when we bought it this morning. Then when you come in,
thank you, Uncle JK. Thank you, Uncle JK.
No rest in it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle JK.
No rest in
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Uncle JK. Thank you.
Hello?
Hello, welcome.
Yeah, my name is Lawrence. I call you from Forward, New Georgia.
Go ahead.
Actually, there's no rest. Even in Douala, when you go there, you don't even get rest. Because I get $25 to my to go check. You check that there is no rest. So it's just the situation here, no rest.
Okay. Folks, we need to hear from you, please. Please, we need to hear from you. Make the phone calls. We'll give you another few more minutes to tell the world whether we have rest in our country, because the government saying rest in the country. We need to hear from you. Take the next call, please.
Welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm about to pray from Kawa. There's no rest in the store. Almost 1 week we cannot eat. You have to beg the people for us to give us to even cook and eat. Those are probably the first times. So upper cover, what's all right though? No rest there. No rest.
Thank you. Let's go to the next caller. Thank you.
Next person, welcome.
Hello?
Hello, you are live. Just lower the receiver using. Hello.
Take the next caller. Take the next caller. Aaron, take the next caller, please.
Welcome. Hello?
I'm calling from Panazia.
Go ahead.
I know see all the problem about they sell all the rest, they have the rest in the store, and then they are hiding the rest. For every time you want to buy, they will bring small outside and sell it to you. That today I bought 1 pair, $3,700. So that
how much is that in US? 3,700 is how much in US?
That is about $25. Just $50 more to be $25.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Aaron, let's pause for a minute. Let me come to those on set. We'll call you back, Aaron. Thank you very much. Guys, real quick, where are we with this issue? Everybody that just called tonight said no rice. Everybody, Dr. Richard said, they are saying no rice. Are we missing something though?
There's no rice. I was tallying the numbers of callers. Approximately 9 persons called. 8 out of the 9 persons said there was no rice. There's an exception. We should put a question mark to this guy, Uncle JK. You the one talking plenty. You the one that said he had rice, but then when you question him, he said he didn't have any rice. Wasn't left at the shop that he went to. And a lot of people are complaining. Douala, Upper Kawe, Omega Market, you know.
Chicken Soup Factory, Garnersville.
Yes.
All those places, they say no rice.
No rice.
Oh, Centimony George, where are you, Georgie? You are hearing from the people, not from the government now. The people themselves. They literally said we went to Freeport 2 days now. They're beating us. They're driving us away. No rice. Talk to me, Georgie.
Rice is a political commodity. We're always saying that. And with elections just a few months, and the issue of rice is becoming front and center for the Liberian people, it's a serious thing. And my disappointment is with the government. Since the president made just few comments about it at the airport upon his arrival from the UN, that's all we've heard from the government. The Minister of Commerce, who should be the one in front of the camera, speaking, addressing this issue, she's silent. And honestly, these are people I know personally, and I'm disappointed with them because we expected them to have perhaps calling a press conference to address the Liberian people about this issue, to allay the fears about rice issue. But again, they just refuse to talk to the Liberian people, you know, and it's very disappointing. And when the Liberian puts out a call for the removal, then they say that it's getting personal. No, but this is a commodity the Liberian people talk about. It's our daily, our main staple, our main food, rice. And to see people complain that they cannot find rice and since is somehow scarce, it's a serious thing. And I understand the president already spoke, but the Minister of Commerce, these are the people who were appointed to address this issue. Why are they silent? You know, it's a serious thing. But again, when you talk, they will set up, people will say politics, but people need to put pressure now to ask them what's happening. Why the rest on the market? Why the importers? They also need to speak out too. Importers of rice, those who have license to import rice in the country, they should not be silent who should talk, but they are afraid because perhaps they're gonna get penalized or whatever the case. I'm hearing that only Fulani brothers, because they got some contact with people in government, they're the ones who are the one in the rest issue. But CO is serious, and I'm glad we're discussing it because it's affecting the entire country.
And I know we'll be going back to the phone line, Centimony George, but I must ask you this though. The government is not speaking. Ledger Rennie, since the president left, Information Minister Ledger Rennie is still here in America. It's just not concerned. This is a crisis. Mm-hmm. We understand they brought 30 metric tons and they're still offloading 5,000 left. But where's Ledger Rennie? Where is Mawani Dees? When will these people speak, Georgie? Why would the president be the one to speak only? When will these people speak? Why are they getting paid? The president left. The man that's serving as information minister, his deputy, none of them talking.
Well, you know, and I was informed that at all times there should be about 1 million bags of rice in the reserves, just in case of anything.
If they don't have the rice now, you talk about reserve. Reserve is empty.
So now that's what we're concerned about. What if people are holding onto the rice, and we
so much, Georgie, let me go to Cap on this one, but let me ask you though, where is Ledger Rennie? Why is he saying America and the president alone fighting the rest battle? Are these people serious to re-elect Josh Manawia as president? What will Ledger Rennie, and even the guy that they appointed to be deputy minister for public, news media, the one that replaced Fagon, where is he? Where's Mawani Diggs? Mawani Diggs will travel with the president all over. Legend Warren will be sitting behind the president. But time for Christ in the country, they cannot speak. Are you kidding me?
And for the record, I reached out to her. I mean, for the record, reach out to her. Tell her that we're discussing issue of rights.
But Liberians need to hear this. Those are the ministers that should be giving them information to make the government look better. But let me go to Kev Hassan. Mr. Hassan, talk to us, man. We just heard from Liberians, though. Liberians, those that are on the market that will be voting tomorrow. They say no rights. Talk to us.
Yeah, I will recommend for us to play the video also and see what's happening at the port, so the Liberian people can see it. But again, we have to educate our people. Who, if the media choose not to do it, it's another topic. If the information ministry need to come out, it's another topic. But there's a global crisis out there. There is a global crisis out there that we need to explain to the people. For example, we had an issue in this country that there was no milk, baby milk. I know we all on the set remember, no baby milk. Were in the market. People were going store to store. But the American people realized that there is a global crisis going on. My problem with this and rice, we're talking about people trying to play politics with it. Oh, you have to get this, you have to get this. Rice right now coming. There's rice at the free port right now. We have the video that they unloading right now. We can play it and let the people see it. We do have the video that you can see what's happening at the port right now. So there's rice coming. The game of panicking our people like it's a doomsday, that is my problem, playing politics. And we all know that what happened in Ukraine, even Henry Costa admitted to it yesterday on our show. What happened in Ukraine is a factor. But putting the blame on the president because stuff happening in Ukraine, it's a disservice. It's weakness. That's what we're doing to our people. No, this misinformation will give
Kev,
out.
you know what it's called? Look, Kev, let me interrupt you. Do you know what you do on the show? No. And that's your business. Don't do that. No, Kev. Don't do it, Kev. You are not in Liberia.
I bring just
call. Hearing from Liberia. Don't do that, Kev. You are not the commerce minister. You are not the information minister. You are not the voice piece of the government. Don't come here and tell Tabata on the show tonight. The people in Liberia are calling.
Where's Boga for fun?
Only you alone know. Yeah, where is what? Yeah, only you alone know that rest on the market. All the people that are up and down don't know. Then you talk about wickedness. Who is more wicked? Those people that are getting paid Mawani Diggs. When have you seen Mawani Diggs on radio? When? When have you seen Mawani Diggs saying, yes, we get this amount of metric tons in the stores? Where is she? She getting taxpayer money. Don't do that and call somebody say it's wickedness.
Can I continue?
No, you cannot continue. You cannot continue. It's disservice to our Liberian people that you will sit on this show and talk about wickedness. You know what is wickedness? Do you know what is wickedness? It's when people go into bed hungry.
Okay.
It's when people have nothing to eat. The young lady just told you she went to look for rice and they're beating on her. Then you're telling us the wickedness. You want to tie this thing to Ukraine.
And that's the fact.
Wickedness.
That's the fact. Let me continue.
That's not the fact. That's your fact. That's not the Liberian people's fact.
Let me continue. What happening about rice shortage in the world right now? Basic things in the world, which we experiencing in America right now. The wickedness I'm talking is when people hide the fact that even baby milk in America, we have problem with it. We have problem with baby milk
We're
in
not
America.
talking about baby milk now.
No,
We are talking about rest issue in the
I'm
country.
talking about
You
basic
heard from
commodities.
Liberians.
We are
I
talking
said
about,
you need to stop
yeah,
this.
but
You
see,
are
let
one
me,
of the. You need
so
to
let me talk
stop.
my piece now.
No, but if you want to talk about
So
you,
where's the
let me ask
freedom
you
of
a question.
speech?
Can I
Let me
come
ask you a
in?
question.
Because
Where's
Let
the
me ask
freedom?
you a question.
Where's the freedom of speech?
You don't have
Where's
one
the
on phone
freedom?
call tonight. You are not. You don't have one on the
But
talk
that's
show
not,
tonight.
no,
Let
we
me
can't
ask you
do
a
that.
question.
No,
Let me ask you a question, Kev.
go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. Are you saying those 9 people that call from Omega, Corway, Newtown, Chicken Soup Factory, all over the country to say no rest? You alone will sit on Sponto. You're not even in Liberia to tell people rest on the market.
Okay,
You
let me
won't
tell you
tell me
what
those
I
people
said.
that call
Let
and
me
say
tell you
no
what I.
rest. They're
Let me
all
tell you.
lying.
Let me tell
Shame
you
on
what
you,
I
my
said.
Kev.
Let me tell you
Don't do
what I
that.
said.
And you talk about
The
baby milk.
rice
Baby
crisis,
milk that people will eat.
the basic commodities crisis we have in the entire world is not by individual government. It's what happening in Ukraine. It's a factor. If we don't explain that, it's a sign
You are
of
in error.
misleading the
You
people.
are in error. You
It's
are misleading the people.
people.
Kev, you
Think
are
that
the one that's
the
already saying,
crisis
hold on
is
for
a
me now, beg
man-made
you.
crisis.
Kev
You
Hassan,
are
you
misleading
are
the
the
people.
one misleading the people.
Coming,
Kev
George, let's say
Hassan,
on the show
you
that
are
rest
the
is
one,
coming.
you
Rest
are the
has to
one
go this
misleading
way.
the people.
What
Okay?
happening now
Do
when you
not,
order
do
stuff?
not
Now
change
when
the
you
thing.
order stuff, it
Let
takes
me say
long.
something. Aaron, come back on the phone call. Aaron, come back.
So let's
Aaron,
play
come
the
back and
video.
open the phone line. Maybe Kev is in another land. Come back and open the phone line. Let's hear from more Liberians. You want to tell us a rest on the market. You sitting out in Maryland, in the United States of America. You eating what you want to eat. The Liberian people are calling and you want to say rest on the market. Are they mistaken? Are you Mawani D's, Kev Hassan? You are not. Mawani D should be the one speaking. Ledger Wolverine should be the one speaking. The deputy press minister for whatsoever his name is, he should be the one speaking. And you yet telling us, say, rest on the market, rest on the market. Those 9 people that call, you know what they are? They are in Liberia. They went to look for rest, so they no rest. Are they lying? Are you calling them wicked, Kev? You need to stop this, man. Liberia deserves better. Don't do this to our people. If no rest, no rest. If the government is planning to bring in rest, say the government planning to bring in rest. It's not your place to say. You are panelists on the spoon talk. Mawani D should be the one speaking. Ledger Wolverine should be the one speaking. Chief of Staff to the President should be the one speaking. They're all traveling around the world sitting behind the President. They're not doing jack. They cannot address the nation. From the President down, the President came from UNGA and said we get enough rest on the market. Because why? Somebody told him, Mr. President, we get rest. Every day they're lying to the President. This is what you're talking about. Let's play the clip. 5,000 metric ton. You know how many Liberians we get in Liberia? You're talking about 5,000 metric ton. That's why you want to celebrate, Cap. I'm not even playing that clip. It's a waste of our time.
Yeah, but
Open the
see,
phone line.
no,
I'm not playing that clip. Open the phone line.
so you can't rule by decree.
Open the phone line.
I want to play the tape.
Yeah, when you're ready to talk, you might call for the tape. I'm talking now.
Okay, when I'm ready to talk, I'll call for the tape.
When you're ready to talk, call for the tape.
Hello, you are live. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm okay. Is this Spoon FM?
Yes, you are live
Yes,
on
sir.
Spoon Talk.
Yeah. I think you are right with my brother. I can't really drink it because he's in America living a relaxed life. And he's not stranded like in Liberia. But when you're looking for a rest, can you imagine? He also now, if you go in for a phone call, you see the crowd there. He sleep there with you for a rest. And he's there, he kind of be promising this, and
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Let's move on.
Thank you very much. Let's respond to the question. Have you gone out there to get rest and you cannot get rest? Welcome. Hello, go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
The president said a street talk. The rest of Mandela Nazama give us. That can't buy and give to us. Can't go for case in America. We talk wickedness. No one job around the country except put a boy rest when the fever again want to go to the bar.
Get a wicked human being. Get a.
Thank you. Let's move on.
Welcome. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Go ahead.
My name is Ali. My novel, my one about one over
You said how many?
We keep
7 president, 1 cup of rice.
Yes. Working red to funding no one red there. Red to funding world I do working. One red not there.
Okay. Thank you. Let's take this person. Welcome.
Yeah, hello.
Hello. You are live.
Yeah, here turn the back from Congo down Baru.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the whole of Baru. Care for rest, no rest. Congo down Baru.
So you can see
No
rest.
rest. Hello?
You can find rest there.
Thank you. No rest. Let's move on, Aaron. Let's move on.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Thank you very much. Good evening to the panelists. This is DJ Lumer from Corwell.
Go ahead.
Santo, my wife is selling food on the campus, on the campus. She bought 3,000. Today when she went to the same place, put 3,000. They kept asking you in America and say, we you know, like you the wicked person to like.
Thank you very much, DJ Lomas. Let's move on. Aaron, we'll call you back. Yeah, let's take that last call and we'll go back to the panelists.
All right. Zani.
Hassan Amara.
Okay.
They're thinking about the show on the oral there is no rice. They want to announce politics inside and CDC being the other are being effective for it. And Kev, you are doing well for this. Don't take it for a joke. And you know we don't have Uncle in Liberia. Hassan and last name was Liberian. And probably you'll be on US Central list too. Thank you.
All right, let's move on. Let's take 3 more calls and we'll go back to the set for us to hear from the guys. Take a few more calls. These are Liberians from Liberia speaking. Please tell us where you're calling from and tell us whether rest is on the market.
Okay, go ahead.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening. Let's hear you.
So, CEO, my name is Bennett Bauer, speaking for New Matari Estate.
Okay.
Today I went out. Inside, I had direct market right near me. All the full people are there, no rest. I went to Copa to this place, Siema. Behind me, Siema Market Estate, no rest there. Even the old Matari, no rest there. We don't have rest here, and now we're talking. They control the food. If no food will be embarrassment to the government. We have to be careful in Liberia. We remember 90 something now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you. Welcome. Let's hear you. You are live. Go ahead.
This is about chemical. I'm calling from Carwell.
Go ahead.
Look, we don't offer joke here. This is not policy business. Now, if you even having to go in the market to ask walk up a rent, $100 labor pay. So it's not something to joke with. Beg or rent that if you even coming to do on a black deal level and someone tell you, say, oh, I get it, let's talk. Now 3,800 for bed. They say has a please phone now that if you actually with
okay.
Thank you very much. Aaron, we're gonna call you back. We're gonna call you back, Aaron. Please just stay put. We gotta go back to the guys. And again, I want to say this is the Spoon Talk. We talk real talk on the show. We are glad that you called in Liberians from everywhere. Just answer our question whether we have rest on the market. We'll be getting back to you guys. Aaron, we'll be getting back to you shortly. We want to go back to the set and ask the folks that to reach us and let's do a quick another round. Again, Liberians are speaking. No rights.
So, this is a crisis. And it's a crisis in 2 fronts to me. One, we don't have any rights. About majority of the callers have said that, and we know that rice is Liberia's staple food. 2, even more of a crisis to me, the people who are supposed to be managing this crisis, they are not. They are failing to speak to the Liberian people because maybe they are incompetent. They don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to talk about the problems that are in our country. There should be, as somebody said, they should be coming out to the different radio stations, educating our people about what this problem is, but they are not doing that. The second thing is, there's poor leadership. Definitely poor leadership. I said before, when you're in leadership position, you're supposed to be predicting. No plan A, plan B. You're supposed to be on top of stuff like not having rights in Liberia, but they're not doing that. And lastly, they don't care. They don't have any empathy for the Liberian people. They don't care. They're just taking the people for granted. They are abusing them. And when you feel like maybe I will win, I don't care. But Liberian people, I only care about myself. This is what you would do. You don't care because you got rice, you got food to eat, you got money. So the rest of the other people who in the country, they don't want feeding the pinch. So those three reasons: they don't care, no leadership skill, and they are incompetent.
Wow. Centimony, before we come to you, Georgie, let me bring in Mariah. Mariah, thank you for joining us this evening. You are hearing from Liberians. Mariah, you are in Liberia. Folks, that one of them has said rest on the market. Not one. Not one of them even made a mistake to say yes, rest on the market. We have taken over 17 calls. Not one person that was a yes. They are not complaining that they don't have money. They are not complaining that the government will give them free food. They are saying, the woman said, I went to look for rest 2 days now. They beat me. No rest. How can we interpret that, Mariah?
Stanton, the issue of rice is not just a livelihood issue, it's also a highly political, um, sensitive, and I wish I could find all the right adjectives to use, but it is a polarizing issue. And so I'm very cautious about what I say and how I speak about this rice issue, because it could just as well be the thing that will blow the top over. We're at a boiling point in this country. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of hunger. And as they say, a hungry man is an angry man, or a hungry person is an angry person. Well, personally, when I'm hungry, I'm angry. But it's deeper than just the individual. It's about the sense of helplessness that comes with having money, but not being able to purchase the basic necessity, the major food that your children and your family depend on to survive. I will tell you a short story as to how that um, speaks deeply to the situation that's happening. During the war, my dad moved us to Firestone. We were living in New Georgia at the time. And when we got to Firestone, we lived in the Tapas camp. I think it was Camp C at the time. The mud floors, the zinc shack, the window that couldn't open because it was too close to another shack, two families living in 2 bedrooms. It was hell. But nothing was more painful than my dad taking us to the market to buy food. And there was this lady who was selling rice. And he said, I want to buy the whole bag. And she said, no, sir. Other people got to eat too. I can only sell you 5 cups. Because even though you have the money to buy the whole bag, other people come in with the money too, but they need at least just 1 cup so their children don't die from hunger. And I got to be here to at least give it to them until all the rice finish. And my dad had tears set in his eyes because we were almost 12. And what will 5 cups do? And you're not just going to eat all the 5 cups that same day. And that was the hunger that we dealt with during the war. Because, of course, it was wartime. But even though he had the money, he couldn't purchase the food. So you can only liken that to what's going on now with our people who are looking for rice, who have but cannot find rice. And what that does is that it leaves you helpless and unable to take care of a family. We can all talk about the substitutes to rice. You can say, oh, there's cassava, there's farina, there's edo, there's plantain, there's bulgur wheat, there's name it. But As we say in Liberia, when you eat rice, you eat it. I said, my man eat a whole day, even though they have cassava guree for breakfast or they had edo soup for lunch. But the fact that a typical Liberian person have not eaten rice, they'll tell you I eat the whole day. This is how rice has become a part of us and our lives. And to deprive Liberians of that, not because it is not available on the market internationally, but because a few people have decided that whatever subsidy was given for the rice importers to be able to have rice on the market can likely not be accounted for. Where did the money for the subsidy go? Have the importers
So we
gotten
will
the
come to
subsidy?
that.
No,
You asked a good
we
question.
will come
I
to
think
that,
it's
but
$11 million they spoke about, and that's a good question. I have information on that. I want us to discuss it.
because that's the crux of this matter.
Okay.
And I don't want to believe that there's no rice in country. I think there's rice in country.
Then what
But
happened?
why is it not on the market? That's the question the Ministry of Commerce has to ask. Because when the president went to, how do you call it? When he went to check in the
warehouse at the
warehouses,
Freeport.
we saw that there was enough rice to last a year.
But that was a long time, all right? That was a long time.
No,
You
but
saw two
Stanton,
warehouses. Two
it was
warehouses is not enough for the country.
it was a long time, but based on precedents and what they've done over the past, they knew that the rice could carry us to the end of the year. The question is, why is it not available now? And it has to do with the subsidy issue. And I think that's part of why this conversation is important, because I think at this point, the Ministry of Commerce should be telling the Liberian people why is it that rice is not on the market, because rice not being on the market is as good as rice not being available at all. And that is a recipe for disaster.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Kev Hassan, your take.
Thank you, Mariah, to buttress that rice is in the country. I know it made for good TV, good thing to beat on the government, and that is the weakness I'm talking about. I'm not saying those people who call are not legitimate callers. That's not what I'm saying. I would never call our people that want rice and tell them they are wicked or they are lying. I know it's good for TV. I would not do that. Because I was once in that shoes before. I know how I feel. So to turn it around on me, I think it's not right, because I would not do that. So thank you, Mariah, to buttress that there's rice there. The politics around the whole situation, that's what I call wickedness. The politics. I call the politics wickedness. And I stand by what I said earlier. The politics is wicked. The politics of fear tactics is wicked. We all know there is a problem out there. There's enough rice coming in. So I will urge CEO for us to play that tape of rice uploading at the port right now. So let's play that tape for the rest of my time to talk and let the people see it. So I will urge for us to play it.
Again, you are a panelist on the show. I'm going to play it. Will you allow Mariah to say something before we play, or you want me to go ahead?
It's your job. It's your call. It's your call.
It's your time to speak, Kev.
My time, I want the video to be played.
You want the video? Mariah, we'll get back to you. You sent me 3 different videos. Which one you want to play?
He mentioned my name. That's what I thought I should just
after him, I will come to you. Let me play his clip. I will come to you.
Yeah, the ones that show you that they're uploading the.
I should play the rest of the 2?
Yes, sir.
See if truck is backing up. Truck is backing up.
Okay, see you can
All
move.
right, Kev. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. So when I'm talking about rice, that's the evidence there. You can see it. So I will not come up and call people who don't see rice and call them names. I will not do that. I don't think it's right thing to do. But I will call people who want to play wicked, who want to play politics with this. I will call them wicked. I will call it wickedness because we shouldn't play politics with this thing. We can go into other things and say, okay, why in information ministry not speaking, or why Mawani not speaking? Yes, that's your right, because the government is your government. It's our government. You can ask the tough question. But to play politics with it, that's the wickedness I'm talking about, and we should not play politics with it. With it.
You don't. Thank you very much, Kev.
Yeah.
Samora, you got to respond.
Yeah, one of the things I always say is everything we say on this show is forever. It's online, it's on the internet, and you have to be able to defend it whenever it comes back at you, whether 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years from now. And so I'm very cautious of that. I'm not going to incite our listening audience or the Liberian people about this issue, but it is an issue that is very, very serious. I'm not going to say what I know may not be true because I have a responsibility to state the facts. But Kev, you cannot use my statement that I believe rice is in the country as a basis for your argument that people are being wicked. Rice being in country, rice being in the warehouse and not available to the people is the same as rice being not available. And I said that earlier. You can't keep the rice in the warehouse and say there's rice. The buyer will not go into the warehouse to go buy rice there. They buy it from the retailer in the stores. They buy it from the market women in the marketplaces. How are they supposed to have access to the rice if you say it's stuck in the warehouse? Yes, we see videos of it being offloaded, but what good is it? What good is it? It's almost like during the war when they had rice in the port. They had rice in the port, but what good was it for the ordinary people who could not afford to risk their lives to go to the port to get rice? Again, you're showing us rice in the port. These are situations that become more of deja vu for Liberians, especially those who went through the war years, who stayed in Liberia during the crisis and know what they went through. And similar situation is happening, and you think people are being wicked for talking about it? The only people being wicked here is a government that will never take responsibility for their actions or inactions. The only people being wicked here are the few government officials who thought they could play in the subsidy and not give it to the people who it was meant for. And at the end of the day, the very Liberian people have to suffer because somebody somewhere chose to be corrupt. Where is the money for the subsidy that was supposed to be given to the importers so that they can sell rice at the normal, at the regulated price, so it's available to the people? Importers are business people.
Sarah is losing the internet. We hope she can reconnect to finish up. Sentiment and Josh.
Yes, this morning I listened to the CDC the youth wing of CDC. They had a press conference, and they even said that from their statement is like they are disappointed to. They said that the government should open up the rest market. So those being affected by the rise, those who are calling, as citizens are calling too. Even I'm sitting here, I'm getting messages from restaurant owner in Liberia saying that they don't have rice to cook for the restaurant. It's a serious thing. It's an issue that we should not defend, because in the first place, if someone advising this government, the minister should be in front of the camera. They should be on various talks, should go on LBC and give the reasons why the issue of the race is at this stage. And Kev, my brother, if they were talking right now, trust me, the Liberian people will have some they allay their fears. They'll say, okay, we understand the government is speaking. The government telling us that rice is on the ground, but it's taking time to load the rice. But because they are silent, people are getting mad. And back in the day, when that issue about rice came out with 79, before we could think, before the government and the protesters could come to understanding, they were on the other hand. And that's the problem we face right now. We hear Liberians are calling. They opened lines just now. They were calling the show to tell us that they're having problem getting rice. It's a serious thing. We should not defend. It's not about politics. It's about being real with our people. And the government of Liberia need to stand in front of the microphone, come to the camera, and speak to Liberian people. And I can tell you, from what I'm getting now, the president will be going to the port tomorrow. I hope he makes that trip there and give the Liberian people reassurance. We're hoping that, because once he starts speaking to the people, they'll say, okay, now he's saying that rice is here and they're sure that rice will be in the market for us to buy. But right now, we should not defend. They're not saying that rice is not mean, but the fact the rice now in the market, they put to buy. People got money, but they can't buy rice. They want to see the video offloading the rice. It mean anything. They want to see it in the market, on the market, so they can buy. But if just seeing the video by loading, I seen I can't buy it. Then what good it is for me? So let us be honest and address the issue. I hope somebody from the government can call our platform now and at least give the Liberian people some assurance that by the next few days, rice will be on the market and people can buy it. But we should not defend it, because there's no reason to defend. It's serious.
I think I really do believe on this show tonight, the government is in the hot seat. Tomorrow, George, you say the government must speak. Speak on what? You cannot speak on anything that is not there, Georgie. Ledger Wureni will not speak. Mawani Diggs will not speak because no rice on the market. Georgie, yesterday we received information that 5,000 metric tons left. If it didn't rain today, they was going to offload. They start offloading the 5,000 metric ton, kept a picture and send it to us. 5,000 metric ton? You want to celebrate 5,000 metric ton, Kev? Do the math. Come on, man. Let's be serious for God's sake. It's an issue in the country. Where you get your information minister here having fun, traveling from state to state, the president left him back. He needs to be speaking to the Liberian people. Shame on Ledger Wureni. And you said the president going to visit Freeport. So now President George Banners, we have turned to be the information minister. He have turned to be the commerce minister. He got to go see every warehouses in the place to make sure rice there. Where is Mawani Diggs? Is he helping her doing her job? Why would the president stop being president and go serve as information minister and as commerce minister? Where is Mawani Diggs? That's a shame. If these people, if they are not qualified, they don't want to work, get rid of them, Mr. President. Take relationship out of this thing. Take friendship out of this thing.
Lack of political will.
Our people are suffering, and the president is not hearing the voices of the people. That's a shame. President, we can go to the port tomorrow. They can take the 5,000 metric ton tonight, stage 1 or 2 warehouses, and the president said, we get rest. That's what's about to happen. The president should go serve as commerce minister? Is that what you're saying, Kev Hassan? That's what you want the president to do? I believe the president should be asking for his information minister. What you guys doing this to the Liberian people, man? Is it bad that they brought you to power? Is it a curse? No rest on the market, guys. No rest on the market. No. That one truck, Kev. We can play the clips. We can play the video again. Just one. It cannot even feed Nuclear. How should the people themselves quoting? They're quoting. They say no rest on the market. Nothing. This is what they said. They got to buy mosquito coil before they even buy the 1 cup of rest. We have brought our people to disgrace. Lord, make us traveling, having fun. And the people are suffering, begging around, looking around for rice. The information minister stay in the United States, while the president left the UNGA. And most of them stay here. Finance ministers stay here in the United States. Senators stay in Maryland enjoying, staying here attending IMF conference or something. Why the people are suffering? Legislative Rennie stay here. What would the Cummings do as president? Will he call his information minister, his commerce minister, his finance minister to an emergency meeting? What would Joseph Walker do as president? But what is our president doing right now? Saying he's in power. He escorted Mawani Dix to the Freeport to make sure she's doing her job. Are we serious? Come on, guys. No rest in the country. We can open the phone line from now to Judgment Day. Everybody, sedition, opposition will say no rest in the country. And I hope we listen to them. This thing is getting serious. The woman said, I went to the port 2 days in a row. They're beating us. They're asking us to leave. You cannot see the rest. 1 cup of rest. When they match the cup in, it's $100 liberty. 1 cup in Douala. You cannot even find it. People begin to eat gari. That's what they're saying. Gari. Is this what the people sign up for? Kev Hassan, information minister to this administration. Is this what the people sign up for? That in the last year of President George Manneh, where there will be no rest? Then you'll get the president at the airport to say this is just a bluff, rest on the market. Who gave him that information? He should fire that person. So now he will get up to more money and escort Mawana Dees to the Freeport of Morovia for her to do her work like he did before. Let's close up on this rest issue and we'll go back to the phone line. Mariah, Dr. Richardson, Kev Hassan, Sintumani George, give us your last thought on this rest issue. And again, before we do that, Mariah, you are talking about the $11 million that Senator said they were putting aside the subsidy for the rest issue. What we learned, to tell you the truth, let me rest on this. They were able to gather $5 million, but the $5 million, the other rest importer are blaming Senator and I say he gave the $5 million to the Fulani, how they call them, rest importer, not the rest of the other importers. So the people say you got to buy mosquito coil before you get our rest. I received this information and this is 100% true. I received this information right now. Let me read this real quick. Let me read this. They went ahead. One of the Lebanon guys asked to buy 36 bag of rice. The man said, I cannot give you an actual receipt when I say the rest for $25 per bag, guys, but I have to do a receipt for $16. But he buying the rest $25, but he's doing a receipt for $16. The man said the government have not given us a dime out of what they say they gave us. Talk to us, Mariah. This is bad.
So that's why I said there has to be, and there is a need for accountability around the subsidy. Interestingly, I'm also getting information, and I'm going to share with you that there was some rice that got spoiled and was dumped at the Wentown landfill center. And again, the question is, if there's no rice in the country, why are they dumping rice, spoiled and rotten rice, at the landfill center? And all of this just requires the government to provide the information to the people. Because if the government does not provide the information to the people, those who know what is happening will start to talk. They will become whistleblowers because they're also affected. The children also affected. They're looking for food to buy for the children. And so it is incumbent upon the government to communicate with the people, to talk to the Liberian people about what is happening. Why are you dumping rice at the landfill center in one town when there's no rice on the market? The rice that were in the landfills didn't get spoiled. Where were they keeping the rice? Why did it get rotten? Why are they putting rice at one town? Why are they throwing rice away when there's no rice on the market? These are the questions that this government needs to ask, need to answer. And these are the questions that Liberian people deserve to get an answer about. You can't be having a rice shortage on the market. People can't find rice to buy, but yet you're throwing rice away, rotting bags of rice away at Wentown landfill in Painesville. Why are the government throwing rice away? The mayor should know about this. The landfill is under the MCC. Why are they throwing rice away when there's no rice on the market?
We are uploading. Mariah, hang on 1 minute. I want us to show this picture. This is what you're talking about, right? Let's go back. So, guys, you see the truck pudding. Wow, wow. Are you kidding me, Mariah? I did. You muted yourself. Can you unmute?
I think the lady is the commerce inspector.
That's this the lady. How you call her?
Josephine Davis, I think.
Is this recent?
Yes, that was yesterday. I'm told.
No. Let's go back to it again. Oh Lord, why are they? What they are expired? It's poor. Can you talk to us, Mariah? Why they raise it?
Well, the information is wherever they were keeping the rice, it was spoiled, it was damaged, and so they were throwing it away.
They'll do more.
Wow. So, Tony George, look at this, man. Talk to us. Talk to us real quick.
Yeah, I don't know, but Madam Davis, I mean, this her picture is there. I wish that she could come and break silence on this, because if Mariah had not alerted us, we would not be aware about this rice being rotten and got rotten and it was being dumped. And I mean, this is what we call being. I don't understand, but why would in a country where Liberians there's a staple food for Liberians, and right now they are in demand, and we are throwing rotten rice away now. Rice have gotten rotten in our hands and they're being dumped. This is what you're being smart would say, being insensitive, because there's no reason why they should
At
sit
any
and
point,
to get rotten. I mean, put on the market, but you see, again, it comes to those who are importing rice, who handling the rice, all this thing involved, because there are certain people that are limited, certain people involved, and this right now, I'm told that Fuani brother is the one who in charge. They're the ones who they got friends in the government. They're the ones who are doing everything. They're the one who's running the whole business of the show, and it's so sad though. And you see, if the Liberian people see what we're watching now, and especially they cannot find on the market, they hurt. I believe that some people grown to bed to die hungry, no rice in their homes. They want to bed hungry, and then you talk about politics. Why should I be politics? My family is in Liberia, they're being affected too. My family don't have rights to be affected. Why would I be politics with this? Well, I know we all of us being affected somewhere or the other. It's sad.
I think the bigger issue is, and I'm hoping this is not recent, the information says it's recent, but the bigger question is, at any point in time, why would we be throwing rice away in Liberia? And That's our staple. Why would what is sellers or business people have rice that will even get rotten or expired in their stores? Why are we throwing rice
If
away?
Madam Josephine Davis is listening to this program, she must break silence. She must give us. She must
It
come
would
on.
be good for her to explain what
Must
this
explain to Librarian
what
why
was
she
about.
was in the future and throwing rights away. She must.
But it does not look good that we're throwing rice away in a country where the staple food is rice.
Yeah.
And
And
at no point should we be throwing rice away. I mean, at some point, just give it out free. I mean, I know they were giving out the Proco rice, but they were selling it at some point. But even if you can sell it, give it. The people always have a need for rice. You
for me,
always
I
have
think
a need for rice.
listen,
So why would we
listening
throw
to
rice away?
I'm sorry, Mara, you were saying something.
No, go ahead.
Listening to you speak about how a hungry man is an angry man just sort of made me think about the long-term psychological implications of when you don't have food. You talk about fearlessness, helplessness, being frustrated or feeling unmotivated. And you talk about how this affects children that are supposed to be going to school, people that are supposed to be productive at work, to be able to solve problems, be able to engage others. They can't, because if you not getting your stable food, or you're not getting food to eat, or you worry about how you'll find rice on the market, it is a psychological problem and long-standing psychological implications when you cannot find food to eat. And this is another real crisis to me, besides having all of the political commodity and the political crisis. So our leaders have to take responsibility. I think it's a leadership crisis for the president of the country to go show his minister of information how to do the job, the minister of commerce how to do the job, and all of the other people involved. He should not be doing that. It's leadership. The buck stops with him.
Let me say something. And Dr. Richardson, you're right, guys. Mariah, you were talking about that $11 billion subsidies for rice importers,
Yeah.
right? So, finance minister, information reaching us, yet to be confirmed, they were able to send a check of $5 million to Mawani Diggs. 5 mil. Almost 2 months. Mawani Diggs is not working accordingly to please the importers. Mawani Diggs only trying to deal with SWAT to double pay them that they can hurriedly bring rice on the market. They couldn't afford to bring the 11 million, so they brought 5 mil. Senator can attest to this. He can deny it. Mawani D's having $5 million that she been working along since 2 months ago. The rest crisis is Mawani D's problem. It's Mawani D's causing this problem for the Liberian people. They can go up and down and play the game and play kakaleka about taking the president to the port. The rest crisis is Mawani D's crisis. Everything that is happening is Mawani D's. Now, one may ask and say, but then, do the president know? Is he aware? Well, if no rest on the market, the president is fully aware. Who will he talk to? His commerce minister. With the money given from Samatua? Hell yes, Samatua will defend himself. $5 million. So in the last 24 to 48 hours, Mawani D's is doing everything she can to negotiate with the rice importers. But those guys, they are very adamant. They are saying no, and she's only dealing with the SWAT. It would take forever to rest to get to the port. It would take 2 to 3 weeks. The rest in the port, everything Kev is showing us, that empty story. I can tell you right now, I spoke to somebody from the Freeport. It's empty story. That thing you're seeing, the port far back or right coming down in the truck, that's an empty story. This is bad for Liberia. That's why Mawani D's cannot speak. That's why she cannot come to on any network. The Liberian taxpayer money given to her to negotiate with the rest importer. This is bad. So if you're asking about the money, the $5 million is sent to Mawani D's almost 2 months, and only God knows when. She is not dealing with every one of them. She's trying to cut a deal with SWAT.
But then,
continue to deal with swap, creating problem. Go ahead, talk to me, Sinto
yeah,
Money. Talk to me.
then the president is now kind of president. I know he's hearing what's happening. He's in the country, but now he's the president of the country. Your people are saying they don't have rice. Now you spoke to the people at the airport and said rice is in the country. So now it's been more than 72 hours. So president, it's about time you either go before the camera, go to LBS, go somewhere and address the Liberian people about this rice issue. Tell them, say, look, give the state of the rice issue so the people can allay the poor fears. Because right now, people are now speculating. It's looking bad for you. It coming, the buck stop with you. It coming on you. So if anybody advising you, say they give you a different advice, they are not helping you. It's about
But
time.
why would Mawani D sit on $5 million and wanting to negotiate under with swap?
Well,
you got 5 to 6 importers in the country. Senator, if they agree that Senator gave her $5 million, why she's not working on behalf of the Liberian people? She's not speaking, but not in the last 24 to 48 hours. She's trying to double up. And the guys can say you got to pay our back pay. And let's see what we get rest in the country as soon as possible.
Because well, they called her recently. They called her recently to come and address on pressing issue. Now, the issue about rice now is a big issue in Liberia. They're on recess, but it's about time now that they come back. Like you said yesterday, they should come back and exercise the oversight responsibility. Why are we facing the rice crisis? Invite the commerce minister and those involved to tell them why, or engage the importers of Liberia, rice importers, ask them why we are at this state. I mean, that's what it should be doing right now. I don't understand what's going on, but it's getting serious though.
So I mean,
go
ahead.
I'm struggling to.
Breaking up.
Your internet.
My internet is bad, eh?
Yeah, today. So my question, I mean, when you brought up the $5 million to me, I'm just thinking, who is monitoring Mawani Dix? You know, you dishing out $5 million to somebody. There has to be some kind of oversight over where is this money going? How is it going to be dished out to the importers? You know, when there's a time schedule. So who's watching all of this? Okay, or are people all in cahoots that they don't even follow up to manage how the money is going, or do they not care? So those are my questions. You know, that job is such an important job. What qualifications did this person have? What her relationship with the importers? How is she going out there and meeting with the people of Liberia? So those are the questions that I have. Who is what's that? I don't want to just blame Mawani Dix. You know, who's watching Mawani Dix, and why is that person not talking?
That's what Richard said. I'm sorry that you don't want to blame her. I would. You better, Mariah. You better. I'm sorry that you don't want to blame Mawani Dix. I would blame her.
Wow,
I would blame Mawani Dix. If you don't want to blame her, I will blame her because it's a disgrace. It's a shame. Okay. But Mawani Dix cannot be sitting on there. Then we say we're not blaming her. We blame her. We blame the president. We blame the finance minister. We blame the information. We blame all of them. Don't take none of them out there, Richard. So what do you mean you don't want to blame her?
Well, I will blame them collectively. That's what I was saying.
Blame all of them collectively, individually, blame them all. We can't sit there and say we don't want to blame the people crying, the suffering. She sent you $5 million and you want to know who oversight? She's the commerce minister. She be held responsible for this thing.
Who's paying for the money? Supposed to be monitoring how is this money going out. There should be a weekly meeting to monitor this.
Yeah, so okay. Is it better now?
You trying? Go ahead.
I was just saying I'm struggling to understand why we're putting the blame on one person. You know, when you said Mawani is responsible for this. Of course, she has part of the blame. It's she's the direct minister in charge of commerce, and she has part of the blame. But for crying out loud, Mawani works for the president. Again, the ball drops at his feet. No president should have a commerce minister who they believe is creating serious crisis in terms of the unavailability of our staple food, rice. Rice has been an issue since 1979. We know the history of the rice riot. We know the issues around rice. We know what governments go through to ensure that there's rice available and affordable. And so if we sit on the show and just blame the commerce minister, then it's a disservice. Because if the president believes that this commerce minister is not handling this issue properly or has created this issue, she should be fired. She should be dismissed. So yes, part of the blame, but a bigger portion of that blame is at the feet of the president. He's the leader. Look, 20 years from now, when our children are adults, they will not remember who was commerce minister. They will not remember who was finance minister. They will not remember who was gender minister. They remember who was president. Even today, how many of us here know who are William V. Stadman, finance minister or commerce minister? Who know William V. Stadman? About Tobert, about Edwin J. Barclay, Uze Ellington, Doughton, Taylorton. That the president name what they can call. Nobody knows who was Edwin J. Barclay, commerce minister or education minister. He worked at the Wood and President. The buck stops with the president. And so we should not sit on the show in the commerce minister sentence. We have to hold the president accountable for the quality of his decisions. And as far as we
Mariah,
know,
we hold all of them responsible. She received $5 million. She should do that which she received the $5 million for. The president, as I said before, the finance minister, the commerce minister, every one of them owe this to the Liberian people. All of them. So you guys are right. We hold all of them responsible. But you were talking about the $11 million though. Now they gave her almost half of that money. And when she negotiating with SWAT, quick negotiation happening. Your brain rests quick. This is getting serious. Your brain rests quick. Forgetting to know that SWAT cannot supply the entire country. Why only SWAT? Give her some.
Yeah, well, why only FUAT?
I said FUAT, I said SWAT, not FUAT.
Oh, okay, SWAT. Okay. You know, I guess we'll go back to my original comment. Well, what happening with rice issue, you know, in the country? We all know that there are a lot of rice coming. They're offloading rice as to speak. We saw it. By the 15th, rice will be here in the country. So it's not a doomsday. Yes, there's
the 15th of what?
There's one or two issue. Yes, people who call due to what happening in the world. My issue is that I'm living in a country that have everything, but we will go and see things not on the shelf that we're looking for. It happened, and we have to speak on it. But when we turn it into politics and play that games, that's where I don't go, and that's a stop there for me, because folks have played politics before with the same old issue. So that's the reason you guys see me very very calm, because I know
that's not a reason. That's not a reason we see you calm. The only reason you get calm because you got nothing to say. There's no rest on the market. The only reason you are calm because all your story right now about rest, that's part of the story. The only reason you are calm because the government have failed you on this rest issue. The only reason you are calm because you cannot talk about the $5 million Mawani Dix I received. The only reason you are calm because the people of Liberia are speaking the truth. There is no rest on the market. Kev, we know you. We know the blood that runs through your vein. If you had any opportunity that this was a winning argument for you, you will be jumping all over it. Kev Hassan, listen, we have worked with you over a year. We know who you are, and you know very well this is a problem for this government. From the president down, this is a problem. And you know that. Your information minister have failed you. He will not speak because it will go with only one message. Your commerce minister will run from every network because she got nothing to say. Your president will not address this issue because the people are saying there is no rest on the market. That's the reason why you are calm.
Okay,
Don't give us this part of
let me
story.
retrieve my time.
You don't have to retrieve your time. Your time is expired.
Let me
Let's
retrieve
move
my
on.
time. At this moment, when you see politics, you smell politics, you know politics. We know politics. We know how this thing play. Every nation. But when I go to the store, when I go to Giants in America, I don't see things on the shelf. I tend to, because I have an inquisitive mindset, I tend to look at the people around and the way they're talking. They know exactly the problem. They know exactly the problem because the news media educating the people and say, okay, they're showing it. You say, what happening and over there? Well, we don't see baby milk. Baby milk is big issue here. How many millions of children and every day are being delivered in this country? To not get baby milk, they're going from place to place, is a serious issue. But the people understand that the crisis.
Because the government put money in, the government contributed, the government helped the industry, the government went ahead to go through the military and build milking on the market. Now, what your government is doing, listen, let me help you, Kev. Stop giving the false story. What your government is doing, your government promised $11 million. Kev, the moderator is speaking.
Crisis.
Kev, the moderator is speaking. Kev, the moderator is speaking.
You interrupted me.
Yes, the moderator get ready to interrupt you. The government promised $11 million to Kim with $5 million. Who they give the $5 million to? Your commerce minister. Should we ask the commerce minister how she's spending the $5 million? Or the $5 million have gone in breeze? Kev, this is a problem. The government on this rights issue, the government is failing the Liberian people. And you know that for sure. You just your
But you don't think the people not hear you enough now or for you?
No.
I left the show. I want to do my thing. You guys had a few days.
You want to get phone call.
No. I left the show. I want to do my
guys, let's wrap this thing up.
Other phone calls, they're not thinking of phone.
They're not helping them. You want to get phone calls.
They're not taking a call. They can't go get out of that.
No. Let's on a serious note. Tommy, I was not making no single phone call. We shouldn't play that. I'm not making phone call. I know you want.
Yeah, we gotta beg you, man.
I was not making phone call. Yeah, I will not make
guys, let me serious. I want us to go ahead.
Let me say this.
Yeah, the best thing you can do is just to be quiet, though. Let me
tell you something. Mama, are you aware of the freedom of speech, the Abdullah Kamara law? So can I speak? I will not respect it anymore. Let me speak now. That's my day. I need a day in court too. Let me say this to you guys. When we look at global crisis, we'll look at global crisis, right? And that's what the UN Assembly, the team was, the watershed moments, come together. We'll look at a crisis happening. We should speak together because in our country, not only in Liberia, in Black Africa, because lack of information get us to always into trouble. But let's educate our people. Let's tell them the problem. Mama, you have to feel the problem that we have.
Let's talk about
the problem that we're having. It's not a problem from the government.
We're against time.
It's not a problem from the government. We have to educate our people.
Kev, we gotta go. Kev, we gotta go. With all due respect, Kev Hassan, we gotta go. Kev, we gotta go. To
educate our people.
Kev, we have to go. Bring your information minister to educate the people. That's his job.
It's our duty. It's our
So
duty.
let's go on.
It's our duty to do it.
Mariah, go ahead.
Can you educate the people?
Now you're taking my time. You passing it to Mariah. Your entire year off for your entire year.
Mariah, go ahead.
Laughing or joking matter. I'm sorry.
This
is not a joking matter.
I was doing my thing. You guys had a field day. Now I can't speak.
You cannot educate the people about the hunger they're feeling. This is not a joking matter.
Mariah, stop playing games, man. Stop playing games.
You cannot educate the people about the hunger that they're feeling.
You know for fact
you know that people are going to bed hungry tonight because they couldn't find rice to eat.
Kev, one at a time.
Kev, California. You want to eat California, Mariah.
Kev, one at a time. Kev.
What happened in California?
Kev, one at a time.
Were you blaming Joe Biden government?
Kev, let me pause you for a minute. Kev, let me ask you one question before Mariah continues. Just one question, Mariah. Kev, do you believe that somebody in Liberia tonight going to bed because of no rice on the market?
Good question. The same way I believe that people went to bed in America with lack of basic commodities in this country. Yes, because of global crisis.
Thank you very much. Mariah, go ahead.
Jesus Christ.
Of Nazareth.
Kev, at some point, there has to be a limit. There has to be a line that out of human decency, you just cannot cross. It is okay to never wear the shoes of certain people, and that's fine. We all would never, ever wear the shoes of others. But there's something called empathy. You need to have empathy for the people.
What are you talking about?
Mariah got to speak, Kev. Yes, hold on, you answer.
In this country tonight and cannot find rice to buy. Everybody don't have the luxury of buying a bag of rice or half bag of rice to have it in their homes, and in these cases can rely on it to take them through until rice is available. There are people who buy rice by cup every day. So if they went to the market this week and couldn't find rice 3 days ago, 2 days ago, a day ago, today, they're borderline on hunger and looking for options that will not even satisfy them because what they really need is rice. So to sit there and compare with the US, that does not even have a staple food anyways, and talk about people going to bed without basic necessities, so you understand that people in Liberia will go to bed without finding rice for their children. Kev, come on. Come on. We can't do this. We can't joke about this issue. We cannot about this issue. It is one thing I said on the show, that I'm not here to play the politics about it. I'm not here to incite people about it. I'm not here to do those things. But we're here to speak the truth. And the truth is, this is a crisis. And when people are in a crisis, you don't joke about the pain and the hunger. You don't minimize the pain and the hunger. You don't compare it with other countries and people that are not going through what they're going through or will never go through what they're going through. Even with the milk crisis, the White House responded effectively and they had to ship milk immediately to the US. Immediately. Not 2 weeks, not 1 month, not 3 weeks. You talking about rice coming on October 15th. October 15th? 2 weeks of hunger, it's like 2 years. Do you know what's going to start happening? People will start taking their pen in their bags to go to their neighbors' homes to start begging for rice.
It's happening now.
People, is that what you want Liberians to be supported
She have enough time, right?
Yeah, I will give you the time that she speaks.
There's nothing you can say.
It's happening now. Let me say this. Let me say this very quick, Kev. I want to Kev.
Let me reply to
Kev. Pause. I will give you the time, please.
Yeah, but don't change it.
Kev, listen. Don't tell me how to run the show, please. I'm coming to you, Kev. I just want to get Aaron ready. After Kev speak, Aaron, we'll go back to the phone line. We ask the Liberian people. Let's see who's going to bed hungry tonight. Let's see what's happening. Not in America, in Liberia. Let's hear from you. Everyone get ready. but we'll give you the time to speak. You can go ahead, Kev.
Okay. When folks twist this thing into make me to look like I don't have empathy, that's the politics and the wickedness and the evil behavior I'm talking about. I said it the last time when I spoke on the show. What I said, those people who calling, they do have legitimate concern, issue. I said it. But to try to want to turn the people mind against the government in order to cause an uprising in the country, that's the wickedness from you guys, Moriah, to try to cause an uprising, because that's the faster way you think you can win election. And we will say no. You talk about the baby milk, they responded immediately. That was not true. They waited weeks. Maybe you don't have anybody who had baby at that time that were going from store to store. I know I went store to store for some other folks that I know who had a baby, family members. I know I went looking out. I know you don't know what how that feel for somebody to go store to store, don't have baby milk. And folks, Liberian who went store to store will admit it unless they don't want to. So, but the Americans will not put the country into crisis, and we should not turn our country because of people trying to buy rice, because we have a global crisis, because things are slow because of the rain to offload some of those rice. With all those factors, you tend to want to go through the people's head for them to uprise against their governments. That's the game. That's the wickedness. When you go, when you say, let's call somebody, let's call somebody to come on the show, say who hungry. Yes, you will have people who will say they're hungry. Despite if rice in the country, still there will be people who will sleep with hunger. So when you give this kind of information, then you get people who say, yeah, they say you see. Those things are the ingredients of uprising against the government. Because if we don't speak the fact to show that it's a global crisis, that slow key commodities on the market, inflation is skyrocketing in America. If we don't tell our people what's going on, then it's a wickedness, an act of evil. It's an act of evil. Then we cause an uprising. When we say, Liberian, your call, this happened, blame the government on something that the government don't have power to go and stop the war in Ukraine for free.
Thank you, Kev.
Happen on the international water.
Thank you.
An act of evil.
Thank you, Kev. Thank you. Now let me say this. Yes, Gentlemen, go ahead. Gentlemen, go ahead.
Yes.
Let me hear from you and that
Yeah, the thing is, it's not about Kev. The reality is this. I can tell you right now, right? Had the president addressed the nation about this right issue, or the minister come and had a press conference, so people at least will have something that they have something to work with. So well, okay, we heard the president speaking, minister come and spoke. Now they show us the rest in the country to give them time to load the ship. But Kev, silent. The people are silent. We expect people to do. People will believe that there's no rights and they will have anything to say. You can get mad with the people. It's not politics. Because if it was politics, I would have heard maybe Vice President Boaga talking right now, Cummings talking, or Gongoli, they'll all be talking, attacking the government.
I'm mad at people who inciting people.
No, but they're inciting.
We gotta move on. The gentleman got to speak, please.
They're the ones who are burying it. You heard the people call. The people are calling, and the people that are calling, citizens are calling. AR people are calling. ANC people, you people, they are all calling. Is that one people calling? They are all calling. And Kev, especially the concern about race issue. They're not inciting people. You gotta be real.
Yes, they
I mean,
are.
that face they kept.
Yes,
Somebody
they
got to speak. If Mr. President, you're listening, please address the nation tomorrow. I'll talk about the red issue tomorrow. Please, Mr. President, I'm sure you're listening to it. And for us, we're telling you now, please break your silence tomorrow on the red issue. Thank you.
Dr.
Like
Richardson?
we even got to beg the president to speak in times of crisis. It's sad, man.
I'm glad that many of us are empathizing with the people of Liberia. I did not get the sense that anyone was been incited. You open the phone line first of all, and people call in and share their experiences with us. They are not only not getting rice, they are being beaten. They are having one cup of rice to serve a family of 7. They are traveling from one place, from Raleigh Market to Oro back road, in all of those places. So no one is inciting anybody here. Nobody is playing politics. We cannot play politics with someone's stomach.
Let me say this real quick. It's important for us to sit on this show and be very truthful. One day, some of us will be that mother whose son going to come over and just bite her ear and say, I'm doing this because you always told me, say I was right, knowing very well I was wrong. This is very bad for our country. Mr. President will get up and travel along with Mawani Deeks and few of the other people to the Freeport of Monrovia, walk through stage warehouses and point to the people and say rest is in the country. But Mr. President know very well there's no rest in the country. Mr. President know very, very well this is a serious rest crisis. The people are speaking. Liberians are speaking. Liberians in Liberia. Kev can talk all his thing about America. Who cares? America got a lot of warehouses filled with stuff. America, the word in the next 10 years, 20 years, what will become of this nation? But in Liberia, we'll worry about tomorrow. The next day, what we'll eat. A war can be in Ukraine, rice shortage, grain shortage. This thing will not even hit America like that because they already have 10, 20 years supply in reserve. We have few shortage. Guess what happened to money, George? Joe Biden just said open the supply. Can Liberia say that? Can President Weah stand there and say just open the supply? They get few and rice?
I said we should all have reserve for that can care for 1 year.
That's what I'm saying. How can we say that and can't dance with this story?
Yes.
They have few shortage. Joe Biden spoke and said open it.
Open the reserve.
This amount of gallons or barrel a day.
But we still buy.
Kev, don't interrupt me, please. Don't do that.
High price of gas.
Kev, I didn't interrupt you. Don't interrupt me.
Oh, yes, you did.
Kev, I don't like that, Kev. I don't like that. Don't interrupt me. Every day we must talk about America. America is advanced. America is ready to rock and roll. 5 years into this administration, we got zero, negative zero. 5 years in this administration, the people are still begging for bread because of lack of leadership. 5 years into this administration, they're still beating people because there's no rest. Then you won't give a story, spot a story. It's bad. It's just not good. Liberians are listening. They are crying. It's just not good. Say what you want to say. You cannot defend those things. You just can't. We shouldn't laugh about this thing. We shouldn't laugh. It's so bad, even if we're on the show and we're laughing. It's like we're making mockery. All of those that are going to bed hungry. We are content because we got something to eat. But our fellow Liberians are dying going to bed hungry. Amen. And we turn around and ask them for the vote. We turn around and say, yes, they will vote for us again. Mawani Deeks, Mr. President, Samuel Twe, eligible renting, every one of them should be held responsible. And I hope that you can tell them, whosoever you are, tell them the truth. The people will speak though. They may be going to bed hungry tonight, but guess what? October 10, 2023 is coming up. They will speak. Politicians will hear from the people. I know we press this issue about rest, but I want us to discuss this real quick. Let me hear from you guys. The gender minister, Piso City Tai, she responded and called for the dismissal of the maritime officials that was in South Korea with allegation of rape. I think you follow that story, Mariah. Let me start with you. You think the gender minister in the right direction, calling for the dismissal, or you think it's too late to do that? Talk to us, Mariah.
I think the gender minister is in the right direction, but I think the gender minister is very subjective and selective in her advocacy. Where have the gender minister been with the minister of foreign affairs having the same allegations of rape hanging over him? Has she called for his dismissal? Where was she when her deputy minister of gender was having phone sex in his office at the Ministry of Gender? Did she call for his dismissal? Where has Pisa been? Or because suddenly there is public outcry around this issue of the maritime officials, so she puts out a statement, just as she put out a statement on the public outcry around Isaac Africa's book passage on the First Lady. Can the gender minister only speak and take action when there's public outcry? Is that what moves her to act or to speak? Or does it have to be people that she is not close to or doesn't know? But the ones that she knows and works with and close to, they're out of the range of her advocacy. So yeah, they should be dismissed and their status revoked and face justice. But what about the others? Pisa can say she's not aware. Matter of fact, her deputy at gender, that was a public information when his sex video came out and he said he was having sex with his wife at the Ministry of Gender in his office during working hours. Why didn't Piso call for his dismissal or ask the president to dismiss him? That was a denigration of the office. What about the foreign minister who has allegations of rape and sexual assault, allegations of sexual assault over him at the mission in the US? Why has Piso not called for his dismissal? We can't continue this selective advocacy or selective action. So many things have happened in this country, and I'm not saying that the gender minister should have press conference every day to speak on these issues or call for people's dismissal. What happened? Why didn't she call for the dismissal when the former Spoon panelist who was at Ministry of Youth and Sports, I believe, was his name?
You talking about Isaac Doe?
Isaac Doe was alleged to have beaten on his girlfriend. Why didn't she call for his dismissal? These are all acts of violence against women. Why has Piso not called for those others' dismissal? And so that would be my issue. Should they be dismissed? Yes. But should the gender minister do more and not be selective? Definitely. You can pick and choose these things. Or when it's your friends or people you know and work with, and you're quiet. But when it's others you don't have a relationship with, then you're loud. That's not how government work.
Wow. Thank you, Mariah. Let me go to Sintomani and then I come to Kev and Dr. Richardson will speak. Sintomani?
Well, Mariah, she said it all. But the Minister of Gender is someone I know, I've been knowing for many years, and someone who I know extremely well, and especially from the genesis of this whole CDC idea, we all were there. But I've been disappointed, especially with the selective way in which she comment on this issue. I don't think like Maria's said everything. She chronicled everything about what been happening. She's been silent. I think I mean what she said is good. She made a rest statement, but people are concerned because what happened in the past, right? Why she didn't speak out like this in the past. And if we want to create a better country and make our government look good, we should not be selective. We should be very vocal on whatever our friends or family member. That's why it's important that when you hear some presidential candidates say that the family member will not be involved in the government, because these are some of the things. Because if you are in a position where your close friend or your family member get involved in something of this nature, you have to act. You have to act, and like I said, even though there is allegations, until they are proven, in the code of law, we treat it as allegation. But I think the Minister of Gender should take a cue and address all the issues that come about, not only selective certain issues that come about. So I pray and hope that this will be a lesson, that whenever she hear about any issue, and when you hear her speaking about the issue about the issue in Nigeria about the child that was I was the guy who raised money for you.
Yeah.
The child that was raped in Nigeria, by somebody from the staff, another member of the embassy staff, and she was silent too. So we should not be silent on the issue. We should also hear especially the influential female in the government. They should all speak about these issues. The vice president, the first lady, everybody should be involved. The minister of health. They should speak on the issue when it come about. They should not just wait till it happen. They should, certain people. So I expect them to do a better job of it, and continue to monitor this case and see the end of this, and how it come to an end. But I agree with Mariah. She should not be selective.
You know what you brought about the ambassador in this company in Nigeria. That story that took the young the gentleman with his, I think, 3 or 5 years old daughter.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
Benji.
not Benji. That's his
Not
name.
Benji,
Yeah, and that's the son, Kevin. I mean, talk to us.
The case in South Korea is unfortunate. It happened, and I know the government and put out a strong condemnation, and Pisota statement were strong. I know she on top of this. I know she's very, very strong. She did a lot of uh, uh, good job. I know I have called her on certain issue cases. I know they work on a lot of things she is doing. It just for for people to pay attention. But she's very strong. She's very efficient in her duty. There is nothing I can see that to say that she lagging behind. She's very, very strong. She's on top of things. I know that for sure. Um, so with all the allegation I hear Mariah talking about on people, I will only say to you, Mariah, when you're in a glass house, don't throw stones. Don't throw stones. Because some things are allegation and less weight. So don't throw stones. That's what I would say to you, Mariah.
Do you even know when they use that phrase? Do you know what it applies to? Or you just heard it today and
Let me.
decided to use it?
I finished talking about
Okay, let me
No, you're
ask
not
you
really
a
talking
question.
about answer that question. Do you know
Mariah,
when they use what that phrase is
Mariah,
actually
let Dr.
used? So you
Mariah,
keep
let
the
Dr.
answer?
Richards,
I just said
Mariah,
some
let Dr.
things are
Richardson
allegation.
Or you
speak.
don't talk because you heard it today.
Mariah, let Dr. Richardson speak,
I
and
finished
then
talking
I
about
will give you the
it.
time
Just a
if you
little
want to
bit.
reply
Just a
to
little
Kev.
You ain't got nothing
Kev,
else to say.
just a
Kev, let me
little
ask you a question. Kev, let me ask you a
I'm
question
sorry, you
before. Yeah, Dr. Richardson, I beg you. Let me ask Kev just 2 questions real quick. One, have Piso City has spoken on the rape allegation from Nigeria? What did she say? What was her comment on the rape allegation from Nigeria? You are muted, Kev.
Lisa on the rape of Nigeria, she on top of it. You can ask the gentleman. She on top of it. Maybe news didn't follow, but she
Did
doing
she
her
call
job.
for? Did she call for dismissal, removal, recall of the ambassador?
I don't think
No.
it's in Pisota place for because the ambassador were not. He was not the one that committed.
She's a
acts.
gender minister. Did
Yeah,
she
but the
call?
ambassador never committed an act of rape.
The incident of a
Instead
deputy
having
minister. The incident of a deputy minister. What was her statement? Having sex in his office. What was her statement?
she was on top of it, and
Did she call for his? Did she call for? Did she recommend his dismissal?
But that was not an act of rape.
Did she recommend? Did she recommend his dismissal?
That was not an act.
Are you allowed to have sex in your office?
That was not an act of.
When you work within the government, are you allowed to have sex in your office?
CEO, people can want to twist Pisota.
I'm not talking about Pisota. I'm not talking about people. Kev,
Pisota.
what's the code of conduct? What's the code of conduct? Are you allowed to have sex in your office, Kev?
What I would say
as
to
a
you,
government official.
What I would say to you, CEO, Pisota is doing a very, very good job.
I didn't say the contrary. I'm asking you a question.
Issues. I know I've on issues. She direct me.
I am not. Kev Hassan. I am not. Kev Hassan. Kev Hassan. I'm just asking your question.
You see, I'm not going to play the politics of those things, man.
Kev Hassan. Kev Hassan. Kev Hassan. Kev Hassan. Listen. Listen.
It's on the piece of time we say a lot of things. And you know, a lot of work. It's on the piece of time. That agency is working so hard.
Kev, we are not saying that. I beg you, I have to meet you for you to listen. And it will help the conversation. I am not saying she's not doing an excellent job, like what you are saying. I'm asking you a common question to help our audience tonight. Please, if you cannot answer, then we'll move to Dr. Richardson. If you can answer, please answer. What was Piso City Tar recommendation when one of her deputy minister caught on tape having sex in his office?
She was on top of it.
Well, I think it sounds like you guys are joking. On a serious,
I'm asking you a serious question. You say I'm joking.
It sounds like you guys are joking.
Yeah, Hassan, I'm asking you a question. You say I'm joking.
No, it sounds like a joke.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Richardson. Let me ask you, Dr. Richardson. You in the corporate of America, the code of conduct for an office. If one of my staff, that's why I get camera all over in my building. In Florida and in Delaware, I have camera. Yeah, in New Jersey, I have camera. Definitely, we ask you to leave. We will ask you to leave. What are we saying? Piso Senator doing an excellent job. Call for the removal, the recall of those guys that work with a maritime on assignment, give them diplomatic passport to do the work of Liberia. Beautiful. Incident in Nigeria, Kev says she's on top on it. Honor her nose, her deputy minister. Honor her own nose because that's her deputy minister. That's not the finance ministry. That's not the commerce ministry. That's the gender ministry. Kev says she do an excellent job. She's my friend. I can talk to her. I respect her as a sister. But when it comes to Liberia and the job, is that an excellent job? What was her remark? What was her comment made? The guy is still working though. He's still there working. Dr. Richardson talk to us. Maybe Kev choose to play politics, but talk to us, Dr. Richardson.
So the comments that I'm hearing from, you guys tonight suggest that she's very selective. She's reactionary as opposed to proactive in the way that she does her job. When you are reactionary, you are just being, selective, speaking to removal of, the people in Korea versus having a plan. yes, you can call for dismissal, but the second part of this is what happens after that. What happens? Is she asking for some kind of sexual harassment, sexual relationship training for all government employees? This is what the next move. The next move shouldn't be just dismissal. And like you said, Stanton, in corporate America, once you dismiss that staff, there's something else that happens. And what happens is how are we abiding to the code of conduct? How are we abiding to how we in terms of our sexual behaviors to other colleagues? That should be something that she should be pushing for right now with government employees and private employees, people to respect the code of conduct in the country. And as I see it, that is not happening. So my question is, what is next? How do we move forward in terms of making sure that government employees do not engage in these behaviors? And then when you do that, it tells me that you are proactive as opposed to just reacting to one situation, which is very fishy. I read Front Page Africa today. That whole you tell me that, oh, we went to the mall, we saw two girls, they are trying to help us to buy a mobile phone, and so we left with them and went to our hotel room, and then all of a sudden we heard loud noise on a drinking. It just doesn't sound right to me. You are grown people going to the hotel to have two girls that will end up in your hotel room. It doesn't sound right to me. And this is what I think the gender ministry should be addressing. Two things. One, the cultural practices when we go to these other people's country. Two is making sure that you are not sexually humiliating, harassing, raping any other being. That should be her focus right now.
Well, I don't think I would go that far, Dr. Richardson. To tell you the truth, their focus about they're going to have an in-service, call all the staff home, train them for 3 days, buy cookies and chips for them, give them soda and they go. I'm not going to go that far. I think Pisa City tired, calling for their remover, dismissal is good. But like you guys are saying, the question remains, what did she do on those other past incidents?
And Stanton, that's your form of what in-service is, but I'm thinking this is one of the greatest things about COVID. It allows us to be able to do work on Zoom. Okay, I'm not calling for cookies, wasting government money and stuff like that.
Dr. Richardson, I'm not saying you are. I'm making my own statement. I'm not saying you calling for it. I'm saying it's a waste of time. We go back in history. What did she do when her deputy minister was caught on clip having sex? What did she do when the allegation of rape took place at the Liberian embassy in Abuja? What did she do when all of folks' name came about raping, sexual and gender abuses? What did Pisa do? That's the question I'm saying. They can have a Zoom conference at a business, but I thank you very much. Let me just go to a couple of statements which making a lot of sense. The last one, then we'll open the phone line. Again, I will start with you, Mariah. This thing came up a few days ago. One of the things that people are saying that Tanner McGill will be running for the senatorial seat in Magibi, but a Senator Nukwe is totally against it. He against it not only because Nathaniel McGill, he says not from Magibi, but he thinks that Nathaniel McGill in his own world is like somebody that's looking for the job. Anthony Yakula, we got a clip. We can play the clip. Then I think you will go first to speak on this issue. Something is just not right in the CDC collaboration camp that this senator is totally against. I think this is the clip.
And they say you are the one bringing the former minister here. I'm being accused of taking someone from different county to come to Magibi to take a job that Magibians supposed to get. That's the accusation on me now. That I am taking someone, in this case, the former minister said that I'm taking him from the Bella Forest to bring him to the Gibi Mountain to take the Gibby people senatorial job. Somebody said to me that you are selling our content. Somebody called me here and were making fun. You said to you selling the content? If you do that, how do you expect us to make claim for appointment in government? If you say we should give the senatorial job to somebody who is not from the county, who will just come here, and you give the senatorial job to the person, how do you think we'll be able to make a claim on this government or any future government for appointment? If what we have for ourselves, we say we don't want it. And I listened quietly, and in the end, I asked the person, did you call to hear from me or you call to fuss with me? And the person said, I'm angry with you. What have I done? Why are you angry with me? Did you see me go anywhere to campaign or to advocate? And I'm happy that you invited me here to speak on this issue. I want to say to you unequivocally that I know nothing about what is happening, and I'm not a part of it.
Mariah, you go first. I don't think former chief of staff have announced that he will be running in Magigi. He have not announced or counted that he will be running in as for the senatorial ticket. Well, why? Why you think Emmanuel Nukwe saying that, man, I'm not part of this thing? And you can expand further if you have any other things to add, Mariah. Talk to us.
So Nuko is smart. And I'm not saying that because I know him or anything, but just off of his comments, you can tell that that's a smart person. When the US government sanctions someone and provides a warning to any institution or individual doing business with that person to be subject to sanctions as well, any smart person would take heed. It doesn't mean not being friends with the person. You have a friendship with them, that's fine, that's great. But when it comes to the issues that he raised in terms of not living or not being from Margibi, the Constitution provides for residency. If Miguel can prove that he's been a resident of Margibi and he qualifies, then he can contest. But what Nukwe's point was, it's someone who is of the people, of the community, of their own. Your representation is someone who is part of you, who represents you. There's several, someone can have several residences in a domicile. We know that Michael is not domiciled, in Margibi. I think his house in EW is still in Painesville. But the point of the matter is, when you support sanctioned officials to get into the Senate, you're enabling the behavior for which they were sanctioned, especially when it was made clear that they were sanctioned for public corruption. You're giving them another opportunity to have a chance to control public funds, to determine the budget, how public funds will be used, what will go to schools and hospitals and roads. You're giving them another opportunity to deal with public funds, to benefit from public funds, to be paid by public funds. And any smart person like Nuko is will not do that. We also saw, I don't know if you have the picture, at the program that Miguel was in Margibi, I think it was the development superintendent who was hiding his face when they were taking picture. These are smart people. But for some reason, they feel like they have to identify with Miguel, but at the same time, they're concerned about their association. The point of the matter is, yes, it is McGill's constitutional right to contest, but it's also Liberians' constitutional right to say, no, Papa, thank you. You've done enough. We should not allow the Senate to become a safe haven for sanctioned officials. The Senate or the House of Representatives, we should not allow the legislature to become a safe haven for sanctioned officials who are sanctioned for corruption. The reason we still have Vani Sharma and Prince Johnson in the Senate is because they were already in the Senate when they got sanctioned. But we should not elect officials who were sanctioned for corruption into the legislature and then complain that there's corruption in the legislature, when we should be cleaning up the legislature, rooting out those who claim are corrupt, should be supporting those who are sanctioned for public corruption and putting it into the very legislature. As a people, we just have to make a decision about these things and be able to look at our friends, our brothers, our siblings, our people and say,
Is that where Nukwe coming from? Is that where he coming from though? I think
but
he that's
the issue was the issue of him not being from Margibi.
exactly.
I'm also tying this issue to
Oh,
the
you're
issue of
tying this. Okay, all
people
right.
not enabling public corruption by electing people sanctioned for corruption back in the legislature. So those were the 2 points I was making. One,
Okay, I
Nuka was
understand
talking
you.
about the fact that he's not from IKB. And I said if he meets the constitutional requirement for domicile or residency, then he can contest. But even if he meets the requirement, why should we as a people elect officials who are sanctioned for corruption into the legislature? Why would we want to do
Kev, if I heard Mariah right, I think we had a show on Friday and Saturday. There's nothing in the Constitution that forbid them from running. And Mariah, she agreed to that on Saturday. She said definitely so. But her argument is the people shouldn't bring in another sanctioned official to be the senator. Talk to us, Kev.
Number one, uh, Maggie being a resident uh, of Magibi since 2016. Take that out of the way. Since 2000.
Maggie has a home in Magibi. Is that correct?
See, can I just?
No, I beg you because I argue with somebody today, Kev. I'm not trying to interrupt you. I want you to be very clear when you say he's a resident. And I said, and the person said Maggie house is maybe half a mile away from the Magibi border. So I want you to be very clear to me and our audience. He has a home in Magibi. Am I correct?
Okay, see, Magil is a resident of Magibi, do have a home in Magibi. He's a resident and do have a home in Magibi. Period. End of story. So, where Nukwe was going at, he was going on the travel line. On the travel line. Talking about someone from this tribe coming into our tribe, that's the line you were going. Not the sanction line or this he's talking about. He was going bit. Are we going to put our country into travel line that if you're not from this country, the Constitution never talk about tribe. The Constitution says you have to be a resident for a year, and then you can run. So since 2016, Maggie been a resident of Magibi. So take that out of the way. So when we're going into that travel line and we're feeding into that, into a nuclear dog whistle to divide our country based on tribe, I think everybody should condemn Nukwe for that. Every Liberian should condemn Nukwe, and the people of Magibi should stand up and condemn Nukwe because the tribal line is a very dangerous line in our country. So I don't think anybody. So the sanction is for Magil. not to run under the sanction. We all know it's not constitutional. He should run because our constitution allow him to run, because there's nothing in Liberia that anybody can show me that he shouldn't run. Besides the talking points of the opposition people, but nothing. The number one reason the opposition don't want Natal Magil to run is out of fear. It's out of fear. Well, Natal Magil was in Magibi a few days ago when they called him to show him appreciation of his help towards our children. They saw the ordinary people came out. So the fear, if you're not afraid of Natal Magil, don't say anything. But the reason they are pushing, even though our constitution Magil do have his 100% right to run, but they are pushing sanction narrative and tribal narrative on Natal Magil. Sanction and tribal. So the reason of that CEO is out of fear. It's out of fear. But
let me ask you a question, Kev. Can Magil win in Magibi?
Magil will I don't know how to put it. Magil will win bigly. He will win in Magibi, and Nukwe and others would not, the naysayer and the opposition would not come close.
My last question, then we'll go to permanent Dr. Richardson. We were here in Magil in Bon County, Magil in Bapolu. Why not one of those other two counties? Why Magibi?
Because he lived in Magibi. He's a resident of Magibi. He's a resident of.
Is he not a resident in Bon County and Bapolu?
Well, Magil living in Magibi. Magil live in Magibi. So he will and the people of Magibi. Matter of fact, let me tell you this, CEO. The people of Magibi will petition Magil. They're calling for Magil.
They petition him already?
They will petition him.
Or they will?
They're calling for Magil. The people themselves want Natal Magil to run. Not and because of that, that's why Nuke is running. What he playing? He playing the tribal line.
Why is Nuke fear? Real quick.
Good question. He feel that he's the tycoon, he's the boss, he's the guy in Magibi. So out of that, he feared that will Magil become the senator in Magibi because of the goodness that Magil have given to the people of Magibi and be there for them. Let me put it this way: because Magil been there for the people recognize the leader. Nuke fear. That's why I say he feared that Magibi and Natal Magil will be Mr. Magibi. So he feared that, and also he wants to run 2029.
Run for what?
2029.
For what?
As president.
Okay, we'll come back to that, Kev. We'll come back. So, tomorrow, George, Magil, Nukwe, this fight, who gonna be the Prince Johnson and Magibi?
Yeah, breaking news today.
Okay. But let me say this real quick, though. Magil have not announced yet that he will be running in Magibi, but kept saying that people are going to petition him. Will he accept a petition? That's a question. But your take between the Magil and Nukwe. Why Nukwe running?
Okay, first, let me say this. I don't know whether Nukwe will say what he's saying today if Magil was still in the position he's in. I don't know, because I know Magil was very powerful in the government, and even the representatives and senators, they all pay to him. But I don't know whether but again, also now, don't forget, we're in a very charged political season where, take it or leave it, the U.S. government, they are involved in our political process. Take it or leave it. Anybody want to doubt that or say it's not true? They are involved, and they are so involved to the extent that they're not going to take their foot off the pedal for the next 12 months. Now, if the news that we're hearing, which I'm hearing from all signals, if they insist that they won't put money into our process or even give our country money until until the NDC can stop those who were sanctioned by them from contesting. U.S. taxpayer money won't be used to help them get elected. Then that is bad news for Prince Johnson, Vonnie Sherman, Nathaniel McGill, Bill Twelway, and Serena Cephas, and then the ones who think about running. With that in mind, Nukwe, he's not on the ballot for next year, but he's an influential senator in Margibi. He just won his election, and Nukwe is also eyeing 2029 too. Don't forget, he also eyeing 2029 to run for president, and also he believed that he also be considered for a vice presidential pick in his coming election. So everyone is trying to play the whole in the thought very, very strongly that I got to speak up, because the people are saying that I'm one of those who helping to make McGill feel that he can run in Margibi County. But McGill too, I think he's just teasing the people because he was in Bon County, he went Bagbalu and Margibi. So he has not, like you said, he hasn't made up his mind which county he's going to run in. He just been beginning tease and showing his popularity by going to this county on these things. But again, too, if I was on sanction right now, I'll be very, very careful how I play my cards. I won't just be showing up in front of other people all the time that I got power, because I got influence or so. How so many things are played out. People can for us, it was spontaneous. When we went Liberia, we know people that can't see us there. But most of the politicians, nowadays, when they are involved in this thing, before they go anywhere, it's not spontaneous. People don't just show up. People they think are carefully planned, organized for people to come and show that tomorrow if I say I come and go in Liberia and organize my guys, they'll go beat me. They'll go with a t-shirt and think the bosses and beat me too, But with all these things said, I think he's just been teasing the three counties, Babalu, Bong, and Margibi. And Nukwe too. Nukwe is trying to protect his future stands in that county. Whether he's on the ballot 2029 or he's also asked to be someone running mate in 2023, he's trying to play both ways. So right now, like I said, he's just showing a job, but he's trying to make sure that Margibi, I'm not involved with this. I won't support my gay coming to run this county, not at all. You don't have my support. He won't have my support. So that's just how he's trying to play that game.
Thank you, Dr. Richardson.
So, when people speak about constitutional rights as they relate to it is McGill's constitutional right to run for senatorial office, they sometimes forget that whatever is constitutional does not make it logically right, does not make it morally right, nor does it make it humanely right. I often speak about slavery in this country or apartheid. It was constitutional, but was that humane or was that the right thing to do? When we talk about constitution, why don't we speak about the constitution of having Mr. McGill or Minister McGill, former Minister McGill, who was sanctioned by the American government, going through due process? Why is he just we speak about it only when we talk about his suspension? Why don't we speak about it in the way that he's going to go and have his day in court? We don't do that, but we want to put hype on the Constitution. Secondly, you can definitely tell in my circle, he's less busy. To be throwing jabs at Liberian people, saying I'm going here, I'm teasing the Liberian people, it suggests to me that somebody, again, who is less busy, doesn't have empathy for the Liberian people, taking the Liberian people for granted. The focus should be you were alleged, you were put on sanction for corruption. The focus should be corruption in our society. If you claim that you didn't do these behaviors that you are placed on corruption for, ask to have your day in court. Speak to Liberian people. Provide your evidence to us to tell us, say, I'm not wrong. I didn't engage in pay for play. I didn't say, what if I had money? At least I'm spending it on you guys. Show us. Tell us the receipt. But you're not doing that. So I'm just going to say, simply suspending McGill is not enough. Let us apply the Constitution the other way. Let him have his day in court.
Kev, you want to say something?
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny when people are saying Bageshu provided the evidence. The same people who saying if you accuse me, you should provide the evidence. They're talking on both sides of their mouth. That is very, very sometime. But let me ask a question. Maybe
Kev, I'm going to interrupt you in
let
that.
me ask a
Yeah.
question.
No,
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 let
no.
me ask. No, no. I want to come for that.
Because
Well,
I
Kev, you gotta
already said,
pause.
I
Kev, you
was
gotta
told,
pause. Let
I
you
was
let you
told that
interrupt for a minute.
oh,
Go ahead,
yeah,
Dr.
I was
Richardson.
the one, was the
yeah,
last
interrupt
person
me,
who spoke
still.
and asking
Yeah,
to go
let you interrupt you for a minute. Go
yeah,
ahead,
okay.
Dr.
So
Richardson.
we're talking about two different things here. One is we're talking about someone who was sanctioned. This is not an allegation. This is not a process that is happening in court where we ask you guys to bring the evidence against Mr. Cummings. The American government already made a decision. He was sanctioned. Nobody's asking your government suspended him. So it is his duty now to say, don't suspend me because I'm right. Let me withhold my position. So here are my evidence that says that I'm not wrong. Your government took action against him. If I was suspended from my job for no reason, whether it's legal or not, trust me, I'll be in my chairperson department's office providing all my information saying you accuse me wrongly. I don't deserve to be suspended. So that's the difference. Thank
Okay,
you.
let me say
Well,
something real
still, let
quick.
me finish
Kev,
now.
you'll call me. I beg you. You'll finish. I beg you 1 minute. Let me say something. My guild is he had resigned. He's he's not suspended anymore. Now he's a former chief of staff, former minister of state, because he resigned. The second thing I think also the argument will hold water if we go and talk about Mr. Nukwe. This government gave Mr. Nukwe a job prior to him running this time around. That he won his election. He got 9 years. He's a senator up to 20 what? 2026, 2029, something of that matter. But he's a senator for 9 years. Um, uh, yeah, in that interim, we want to say to everyone, it's a good thing to understand that Mr. Nukwe, I think I will wait when the former minister Natana McGill declared his intention to run. The county in which he will be running in like Bapolu, Magibi, or Bon County, then we will speak. Uh, then actually, I will invite Mr. Nukwe to give us a reason why he thinks Natana McGill shouldn't run in Magibi if Natana McGill accept the petition of the Magibians. So then we will discuss further. But as it is right now, I don't know which county he's running under.
Yeah,
I want to wait.
No, when that's not talking.
I don't want to ask him in 30 seconds. The guy who is the president, who is senator that's on the ballot for next year from Agibi, Tonola, he from Nukwe's party. So just to get
Yeah, but I don't think he's running again.
I hope
I don't think he's running again. And listen, guys, I don't want us to. I just wanted to put a little tease in this because it's important. McGay have not declared where he going to run, whether Bon County, Buffalo, or Magibi. I'm going to sit back and wait. Once he declare, then we'll speak.
I wish my contract was put on up.
Okay.
I was going to run for that seat.
Well,
okay. We gotta go to the phone line. We got 10 more minutes. We gotta go to the phone line.
Let me finish what I'm
we
saying.
gotta go to the phone line, Kev, please.
Yeah, but
still, Kev, you spoke already. I'll just give you extra time. Hold on 1 minute. Hold on 1 minute, guys. Hold on 1 minute, guys. Hold on 1 minute, guys. Kev, you had your time to speak. I will just give you extra time.
But you took your time away.
Kev, no.
You took it from me.
Kev, stop. I will give you extra time. I took it back.
But
you
took
spoke
it back
already.
from me.
Yeah, I took it back.
So you took it back. Okay, that's fine.
Thank you very much.
I want to just clarify.
Dr. Richardson, we gotta go to the phone line, man.
Yeah.
Please, during our closing, we can clarify during our closing. Please, I beg you, if ready, like 10 minutes to go. Let's just take few calls, or we can do our closing because we have already taken calls. We can do our closing. Let's start with Sintuman and George.
Okay.
2 minutes real quick, and we can wrap this thing up.
Yes, it was a good discussion, and I will say this: we should not forget the issue of rice is something that we take dear in our country. I know the president is watching, and I know officials of government are watching this show. They should really break the silence on the rice issue before Friday. We want to hear from the Liberian government honest status of the rice situation in our country. And the Minister of Commerce, by us refusing to speak to the people of Liberia on the issue, they're not helping the situation. Because tomorrow, when people use it on them, they gotta be careful. We're 12 months away from election. You don't want to allow this thing to place a hurdle in your electoral path, because Liberian people don't forget, especially issue with the rice. The rice issue, they don't play with it. So I hope they can really take cue from what's happening and face the Liberian people. I mean, we all understand it's a global issue, but global crisis about getting rice from one port to another, but yet and still break your silence. Tell the Liberian people where we are. Why is it rice is not on the market? And if anybody is involved with any kind of a deal with one of the rice importer or whoever they are, they should stop it. They should be exposed. Call them out if they are involved, and they want to causing the rice to be the shortage on the market. It should be called out. And so we look forward to having a discussion. Let's see what happens in the next 24 hours. We'll be watching and monitoring. And before I close, let me just give my shout out to my cousin's wife, Maria Roger George. She took care of me in Rhode Island on the weekend. I cooked a nice pepper soup for me. I ate. And also my friend William Jackson, that's a good guy, and Chairman Banto from the CDC, former CDC chairman in Rhode Island, and Melvin Howard. You guys were great to me, and I've enjoyed my stay in Rhode Island. God bless you all, man.
Thank you, Judgy. Thanks a lot. Mariah, you want to go?
Yes, thanks, Stanton. Look, so good topics today on the issue of the rice again. This is a clear indication of the incompetence of this government and the inability to cater to the welfare and well-being of the Liberian people. There's absolutely no reason why Liberians should, at this point in our country's history, given our history of rice, have any crisis that has to do with rice. It should be a priority product. It is our staple. It should be available and affordable at all times. And anything to the contrary just shows what the priorities of the government have been. And clearly, the welfare and the well-being of the Liberian people isn't one. I continue to say um, this president is unable to carry out the duties of the presidency. In plain English, he doing the job. And the longer we keep making excuses for him, the worse our lives will get. I will be one person to say we need to give others the opportunity to serve us. The presidency is like your employee. If your employee is not performing, you will fire them, you will change them, you will bring other employees on board who are more capable. um, Mr. Cummings is clearly the best choice we have coming up in 2023. Someone who understands the economy, someone who understands the private sector, someone who understands how businesses work. We cannot keep trying the same people over and over. It is time that we take the business of Liberia seriously, that we run this country, that this country is run by someone who's a seasoned administrator and global business leader. And all of these issues will be addressed appropriately under the Cummings administration. The second issue of the Minister of Gender, you know, again, I see it as it is, I call it out as it is. I think she spoke well to have asked for the recall. I'm hearing myself. Can somebody mute? For the recall and dismissal of the maritime officials, but I think she's been selective in her advocacy. She needs to be able to do that for everyone, regardless of her relationship with them or her friendship with them, because it is not about her, nor is it about the alleged perpetrators. It is about the victims, those women and girls who are abused. And she needs to act as gender minister for all and not just for the Blue Revolution. And Kev made a comment about PISO performing very well And one of the things that we do need to do on the show at all times is to provide the facts to the people outside of sentiments. I won't speak to Piso's performance personally, but I will want to use the facts and the data to speak to her performance. As Minister of Gender, Pisa has been unable to address the issue of rape and sexual-based violence in our country, which is one of the most important role or TOR of the Ministry of Gender, to address issues affecting gender and children, women and children. And under Piso's administration, she's not just been unable to address the issue of SGBV, but it has increased drastically. So what does the data say? Between 2011 to 2016, in the past administration, the second term, 2011, we had 2,383 cases, very high. But when you want to know if someone is effective at the job or they're doing something to address the issue, you follow the data during the period. By 2016, the number of SGBV cases had reduced to 931, still very high. But within that term, between 2011 to 2016, we have gone from 2,383 cases to 931 cases. That's how you measure performance. The reduction in the cases of SGBV. That you can say was performance. But let's come to Piso. She's been gender minister since 2018. In 2018, we had 1,484 cases under Piso's administration. By 2019, we had 1,750 cases. That's an increment. 2019. By 2020, it was the heat of Ebola, Corona. We did not have enough data because in the first 6 months between January to June, we had 605 cases already. And they reported that the cases had increased, but it was so bad that we could not get the total amount for the entire year. In fact, Mr. Cummings during that period called the issue of rape a pandemic. In fact, he called it the third pandemic. The president even had to declare rape a national emergency under Piso's administration as Minister of Gender. But not only that, in 2021, in the first 6 months, the number of rape cases had increased. In fact, Piso, Ministry of Gender, reported that she had less cases than what others were reporting. You had the he for she coordinator reporting about 700 cases between January to June, while Piso was reporting less than that. But by September, which was 9 months into 2021, we had almost 1,000 cases. 2022, as we speak, between January to March alone, we had close to 260 cases in just the first quarter. Up to now, we're approaching the last quarter of the year. We don't have the full numbers, but 2022 is set to be one of the worst years of SGBV. All of this is under Piso's administration. How then do you sit on the show and say Piso is doing extremely well when the cases of SGBV is increasing? How do you measure performance? I know this government knows nothing about performance and productivity, but we cannot continue to sit on the show and use sentiments to grade people's performance. So the data clearly shows that what you say is contrary to what the facts are. The Ministry of Gender under Piso's administration have failed to address the issue of SGBV, and it's increased consistently under her watch, as opposed to her predecessor, who was able to reduce SGBV or was able to work sufficiently to reduce SGBV. Let me just say, when people say it's not Piso's responsibility, yes. How do you work with the community-based organizations? How do you work with awareness? How do you work with the Ministry of Justice to ensure prosecution of these cases? How do you work with families to ensure that these people, perpetrators, are prosecuted? That's the Ministry of Gender's job. But when you politicize gender work and you decide you're not going to work with certain organizations because they don't support the Blue Revolution, and so the work does not get down to the communities and the awareness don't get into the homes, you have these issues. So it falls at Piso's footsteps. And lastly, on my guilt, look, I said what I had to say. If McGill meets the constitutional requirements to contest, sure, that's his constitutional right. If others in Margibi believes he's not a son of Margibi and he's depriving other sons of Margibi from serving their people, that's their right. At the end of the day, as Liberians, we should not be awarding bad behavior. We should not be electing people who are sanctioned for corruption into the legislature. The legislature should never be a safe haven for corrupt officials who are sanctioned by foreign governments and who've stolen from us as a people. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mariah. Dr. Richardson, you'll go last, please. Let Kev come in, please. I want you to take us home. Kev, go ahead.
I'll use my time to Mariah.
She finished speaking, though.
Yeah, if she has anything else to add to Kev.
Yeah, after Kev. Okay. Kev, you go ahead, please.
You know, that's what we're you know.
Kev, I will give my time to you too. When Mariah speak, then I'll give you the rest of the time.
Yeah,
All right, go ahead, talk to us.
You know, that's the ANC game.
But I think she came along with some very important data, Kev, on this issue.
Listen, let me say this to you. You see, when you, especially the American TV, do that, when they advertise thing, they say buy this thing, though they put a fine print under that you cannot read, but that's where the catch is. What she telling you, she's saying under Madam Ellen, she read the data. But you know what she's not telling you? Mariah is not telling you we have 17,000 troops. That's the which word I should use? That's how they deceive people.
So the rapists scare like
God.
But Mariah, let us speak. Yeah, thank you. You already have extra time coming your way. Let us speak.
That's what she's not telling you. She giving you the data. Oh, under my Ellen, this happened. Oh, this happened. But she's not telling you that we have 17,000 troops. The international community had the troops in Liberia. So even that number said under that troops, it was even high. That's what she not telling you. That's how they deceive our people. Then our people will sit down now and say, oh, so under Mariah government, they were working. Oh, why are they not working? But they are not telling you the truth, my people. They lie so much that thank God. You know, a favorite thing about what my sister always said, Helena Flomo, we were not here, but we are here now. And the reason we're here now is to debunk all these lies. And that's why I call it wickedness. Because you should tell the people the whole story. Don't give them half story. Give the people that story. Tell the people this government inherit a government without a fitting police and fitting military, fitting security, which this government is working on. We had a military guy on, they're recruiting right now. The police about to do that, building it. We had a glitch. We had a problem with the COVID that put us backward. But we on our way to build security in this country. So how will you come here and talk about rape under Madam Ellen, and while in this country we don't, in Liberia we don't have, at that time we don't have security, we don't have enough security now to
Yeah, what are you talking about? You're confusing me. What are you talking? What are you saying?
What I'm saying is that, okay, let me pause. What I'm saying is, and sorry, my son keep calling my phone, so I'll just you know, when you check your phone, you know that something happening. So that's why.
Take his call. We'll come back to you.
No. Let me finish. I will.
Yeah, attend to that boy.
Huh?
Attend to that boy.
No,
Tell
I
it to your
will
son.
get. I will get him. I will get him.
That's family.
Kim
Tell it
will
to him.
wait for you. That's more
They wait for
important.
you.
I will
We'll
get.
wait for you.
No, I will get him. I'm seeing his message. I'm seeing. So what I'm saying here is that let me start back again. Sorry, what I'm saying here. Let me start. No, seriously. Under Madam Ellen, because of the truth, because of security was well intact, so definitely we'll have uh, less rape under this government, right? Lack of security. Although her numbers, I'm going by what her numbers saying because it's what she's saying. She's not showing me the actual data. She just saying something. You understand? Her number yet to be verified by the gender ministry. So I'm not going with her number. But let's go. Let's argue her point. She's supposed to tell the Liberian people the whole story. She's supposed to give the Liberian people the story and say, look, under Madam Ellen, there was a security. But when you inherit government with less security from her government, the army still less, the police, our security as a whole, right? So let's move on. That story doesn't hold water. That story doesn't hold water. So we come out to the rice issue. What's she not telling you? I come back to the same thing. What people are not saying, they're not telling us that we have international or global crisis that hits everywhere. Inflation is high. People want to reference America when it's in the favor, but they will not reference America when it's not in the favor. Inflation is high in America. Why? Because of global crisis. You think Joe Biden is not doing a good job? But because of global crisis, that's why inflation is high. Yes, people say when gas, Joe Biden went to the reserve. We still pay high. It went up to $6, $7 in the state Moriah was in, California. It was high. They're not saying that to the Liberian people. When we see things, they show it on news that nothing was on the shelf because all those trucks that were bringing food, because lack of gas, things that were coming from China, stuck in the high sea. They are not telling you that, Liberia. So listen to what they're saying. They're hiding the truth. They're only giving you the surface, telling you, oh, the government not doing this. But underneath, they are not telling you the cause of everything. It's like you go to the doctor. The doctor look at you and say this, but the doctor have to diagnose you before the doctor give you the right thing. So let's go into the problem. Let's diagnose the problem and let's know where the problem coming from. And the problem is coming from international crisis. They are not telling you that. They are not telling you that. But what I want you to know, oh, the government not producing rice. The government not producing rice. But what caused the problem? Let's go into the problems. What caused that food was not on the shelf in America? What caused that baby were not having milk in America?
The time I finish, time get dark this time. Quickly.
It's Joe Biden for it was not dark when I was speaking, right? You answer guys, man. They're not telling you that.
I mean, active sedition, you know that.
They're not telling you that. So they will always come up with something up there to let us know, to let the people know, hey, the government are doing this, the government are doing this. But for everything, we have to go to the root cause. Dr. Richardson, you're a psychologist. You know what I'm talking about. When you're seeing your patient, And if there's a crisis, a matter of fact, declaration, Liberian people, this woman deal with crisis every single day. Everything she just explained to you that is to Liberia. She playing politics, but she deal with crisis every day, and she know the number one thing was when the crisis, she want to know how that happened. She deal with that every day. They will not tell you because you see the crisis and she just made a decision. She will ask you, what trigger? The trigger. She know what I'm talking about. The trigger. What triggered this crisis? What triggered your depression? What triggered your anxiety? So we have to go to that. So Liberian people, what the opposition people telling you, they only gave you the tap, but they're not coming in to explain. In America, when there's no baby milk, we know the opposition will not make craziness about it because they know the people will hit them hard. They know they will be lying. So let's go in the case. Let's leave that. Let's go in the case of McGill. Let's go in the case of McGill.
And then news about what are the president?
I'm talking, my man.
Okay, we gotta go, Cap.
Okay, let me finish. Let me finish this McGill.
Finish on McGill part, please.
Let me finish this McGill. Let me finish this McGill incident. On the issue of McGill,
what is schedule now?
It is a constitutional right. It is a constitutional right for one in our constitution in our country. As a lawyer of Moriah, you are innocent until proven guilty. Because there's a sanction, and I stand to be corrected. Maybe somebody needs to correct me on that. I believe Eddie Snow ran when he was on sanction, and I believe the vice president too ran as a lawmaker when she was on sanction. So I stand to be corrected. Somebody can help me because Moriah said you cannot be on sanction and you run, but we'll have folks there that did that. Again, I stand to be corrected.
Thank you.
So,
but I don't think you're being fair. I didn't hear Moriah saying that. Moriah saying from the opposition, the people shouldn't just vote for someone that is on sanction.
I will argue if Moriah did this. Ask her. Moriah, you never said.
Let me do my closing point now. Let me do my closing, and you and Moriah can argue. Hold on 1 minute now. Let me do my closing because it's important. We had this discussion on Friday.
The woman just said it. Yeah.
We had the discussion, and Moriah said there's nothing. Stop. So let me do my closing. I think number one, let's talk about this rest issue. I think the government have failed the people. Number one, a lot of people waiting to call. We will take more phone calls tomorrow. I think the president going to the Freeport is like dig hole, cover hole. Nothing the president going to do. They call it Saludo. And anybody that ever walk on the street up on foot, they know what Saludo is. The president going to do dig hole, cover hole, no air. The president will not manufacture rest tomorrow, but the people of Liberia will get rest in their home. Pure Zale today. The president can take a whole convoy and go defend Mawani Dix. The question will be, why is he defending Mawani Dix? What's so special about Mawani Dix? That will be the question. That will be the question. If Mawani Dix is not performing, the people get her name that she will be the chief of staff, she will be this one. I don't even think the president should consider her as chief of staff. It took the president to go to the Freeport the last time to visit those warehouses. And now we're in another problem. This issue will not go away, guys. This issue will not go away. I will not even get out to see President where I go into the Freeport. Till the people of Liberia can get food, rest. The president will go to that Freeport 10 times. If no rest, there is no rest. It will be all game. It's time for us to look in the face of the president and tell the president, tell your people to work. They should stop going to your house. They should produce. They should perform. like Dr. Richardson always say, call them, have a piece of paper, and outline what were some of your accomplishments in the last 4 years, 5 years. Have you performed to expectation? Now the question will be, what's the expectation? So, Kev, you can sit over here and show a video that the president, that the people taking rest from the ship, putting it in the truck, going down to dump it because it's poor. You can sit over here and see the president going to the Freeport. It doesn't move me. What matters is that the people get the rest. They are willing to pay for the rest. So the whole rest issue when you get information ministers still drinking beer here in America, celebrating, when you have some of them stay here while the president left UNGA finished and they stay here hustling. That's a disgrace. That's a disgrace. It needs to stop. My question would be, what would the Cummings administration do different? What would the Jose Yima Barker administration do different? Are we still going to be on the side begging? Rest reserve should be like for another year. Come on now. This government been in power for 5 years now. Rest reserve. Where is it? And we're still looking for one bag of rice, one cup of rice. And you want us to celebrate and you put this on Ukraine? Where's the $5 million? Let's ask about the money. That would be the root to where this rest situation is. This thing is on the president. This thing is on Mawani D's. And this thing is on the government. Poor leadership, poor leadership, poor leadership. We can do better. And this is wrong. All the people want. Where is the rest? We want to buy it. They are not begging for ration, carefree food. They are not begging, say, give it to us free. They say, we want to buy it. Where is it? And the government cannot direct the people to say, go and buy the rest. $15, $16. They're even begging to pay $23. Still, they cannot find the rest. And the president came to the airport and somebody whispered in his ear, we got rest on the market. That's wickedness, Kev. That's what you call wickedness in higher places. That's what you call wickedness. Demonic behavior, to lie. This needs to stop. My next thing I want to address, I'm not addressing the McGill issue because I believe that it is constitution right there. There's nothing in the Constitution to say if you put a man on sanction, he shouldn't run, except the Constitution, somebody tried to amend the Constitution. McGill, I've never said he will be running in Magibi, not in Bon County or in Bapolute. McGill can declare. I mean, then we'll speak on this. Senator Nukwe, I believe the senator shouldn't have said anything because McGill never said he will be running in Magibi. So the fear of him speaking right now will let you hear from Senator Nukwe. And I also like to say about the general ministry, I mean, Mariah point was accurate. You coming up to speak now. Why you speaking now, I don't know. But I think you speaking now is a good thing. But go back and be on record and speak against all those that were involved in former rape allegations. The gender issue in the country is a serious issue. And I think the courage that Piso took today or yesterday, she should take the same courage to address those other issues. I like to end on that my friend, my brother Josh Wisner, he sent me a clip yesterday that he endorsed Mr. Cummings 2023 election bid. Josh Wisner have openly declared his endorsement to Mr. Cummings, the former executive director of the National Investment Commission, NIC, and the steward of the Opposition Unity Party, George G. Wisner, has pledged to canvass for the standard bearer of the collaborating political party, Mr. Alexander B. Cummings, ahead of the 2023 presidential and legislative election. George told me this. He sent me the information. He came on our show. He announced it. He said he will be supporting Mr. Cummings. And also, I like to say this is the good news for Mr. Cummings. The PLP vice chairman endorses CPP standard bearer Alexander Cummings. Mr. David Gomo Benito, the National Vice Chairman for International Affairs of the People's Liberation Party, PLP, has endorsed the presidential bid of Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings, the standard bearer of CPP, speaking at the Truth FM radio station. It's something about Mr. Cummings. He getting them bit by bit, small. This is small, yes, small. They're kidding with it, but they are growing.
But they're all the same old people
growing.
that he's talking
Kev,
about.
can I finish? Kev, can I
The
finish?
same old people that he's talking about. I thought he said.
Kev, I'm doing my closing, Kev.
It's a good surrogate, Kev.
Kev, I'm doing my closing.
Why are you
Kev.
going to the same old people that wreck the nation?
Kev, I'm doing my closing. Can I
Former
finish?
finance minister.
Guys,
come
we
on.
We are sorry for the
former information minister. I'm sorry, former
we-
information minister Louis Brown.
We are sorry for the interruption. We apologize to you. Kev is doing this intentionally because I want to say to everyone, you can say what you want to say up to now, today, the 28th. Mr. Cummings have gained the endorsement of Dr. Toga McIntosh, Louis Brown, George Wisner,
of the coalition,
Nito, and Mo Wiyekame. Let me hear somebody endorsing George Manawea. Who? For the second term bid, who have endorsed George Manawea?
Sam Jackson.
Why are you? What?
No. I'm being serious here.
But
we gotta go. Dr. Richardson, you have not spoken in your closing. Let me
time.
No, I beg you. No, Dr. Richardson will get your time. Let me go to her and let she pass it to you. Am I missing something? Dr. Richardson, am I missing something? Who have endorsed George? I know. Let me see on my question. You can pass it to Mariah. Who have endorsed George Manawea? Who have endorsed George? Hey, Kev. Hey, bro.
Listen, Senator Snow.
Let me ask you, Seal. Are you giving a Hail Mary to the opposition? Are you giving a Hail Mary? Answer that. Are you giving a Hail Mary? You should ask.
I'm done with the show.
Yeah, you giving a Hail Mary.
Interrupting me even when I'm doing my own closing.
No, but you know the question should be why Mr. Cummings when Mr. Cummings said you do the same thing over and over, Mr. Actor.
Oh my gosh. Stanton, do I have
why
to
Mr. Cummings is doing the same thing over and over?
Thank you.
You should ask the question.
Okay, please. Stanton, I'll let when I thought you can go to Kev to talk. When Kevin is talking, then you can talk. You go to Thomas Lane before you come back to me. I know it's on purpose. Don't let.
I want to do my closing. You're interrupting me.
You are supposed to let me respond to Kev. Then you do your closing, but that's okay. Even if people even remember what Kev said, I can take notes. That's why I usually get my pen and paper. But let me go back to what some of the things Kev said.
Well, don't be long. I'm not well.
I will not be long. I'll finish what I said. You can talk about Omil truth. So the rapist never scared of Omil. That Omil was rapist police.
Oh, so you don't know what security is? You don't know what security is?
We are speaking to say we have Omil. Now Omil are in the community and looking for rapists and perpetrators. Come on. You know, the fact of the matter is,
Mariah, man, you better than that, man. Why are you talking like this? Why are you talking like this?
You know, stand on left because you want me to.
The higher the security, crime reduced, man.
You talk for almost 10 minutes. I beg you. Let me close here.
You talk for 20 minutes.
You made a comment about us about your rebuilding the police and the army because you're doing recruitment. Honey, you know that recruitment is a recurrent strategy for the army and the police. Why you think they got police academy? They're not to bring in new recruits all the time. So because you're recruiting, that means you build.
You need funds to recruit. You need funds to recruit. Hey, Mariah, say the whole thing.
But Kev, we gotta go. Let you finish up. If you want extra 10 seconds, we'll give it to you.
Why are you talking, man?
I beg you. Let Mariah finish.
Let me just end. Because the reason is
important. You can post that on the school page.
My head is hurting. Please, I beg you.
Post that on the school page.
We can sing together. We don't talk together. The reason it's important to address these issues is because people listen to these things and some of them go with it. For you to say we broke down you met the police and the army. You broke down the police and the army. Do you know there is constraints that the people of the police economy are having now? That the army is having now?
Let me stay.
You want to sit here and talk about your broken down. The reason you cannot address the issue. The reason you cannot address the issue of the
I'll put it in the
statistics
back.
that
I'll put it in the
determine
back. But Rob,
performance,
you were finished talking, then bring it back
that
up.
determine performance for PISO is because these are facts. These are not Mariah facts. These are PISO Ministry of Gender facts. These are data. It's available on the Ministry of Gender website, on the Ministry of Justice website. It's available online. Do your research. You will find them. It's there. These are facts, not Mariah Yakula's facts. And so you are not able to address them. So you went passing all around the issue and not the exact issue. But let me just say this though. You want to talk about what the root cause of these issues are? The root cause of the issues are clear. It is incompetence and poor governance. That's the root cause of the issues we're having today. It's not because of international crisis with Ukraine or because of Corona. We had Ebola 2014. You have other countries dealing with the Ukrainian issues. There's no issue that you're dealing with that's unique to Liberia. Moreover, the only thing that you guys have continuously done since you took over 2018 is to blame everybody else but yourselves. If you're not blaming the past administration on Ellen, you blaming Cummings, you blaming Ukraine, you blaming everybody but yourselves. Do the job that you were elected to do. When you take over a new position, you got 3 to 6 months to inherit the problem and it becomes yours to fix. You've had 5 years. You can't keep playing the blame game. You can't keep saying that other people that are this.
Right, let's go.
And lastly, let me just say, you mentioned a good thing, Stanton, when you said, what would a Cummings administration do differently? The issue of rice issue, of course, has been a big issue for a long time, but there are ways around it. The Cummings administration is clear about how they're going to address it. It's not going to be overnight, but they're going to work along with the local farmers, invest in agriculture, and try to balance out importation with local production. You're not going to get past importation overnight, but you can balance it out. You can empower local farmers. Look at how much we're giving agriculture in our budget. Budget's almost 700 million. Agriculture got less than 10 million. How do you intend to address these issues? How are we going to be self-reliant? How are we going to be able to feed our people if we don't gradually try to empower our local farmers to produce rice so that we're not always reliant on importation? That's one thing Mr. Cummings is going to do differently. I'm just going to say this. So, President, I may be one of your biggest critics, but I don't hate you. The people who don't want you to do well are the people who continue to commend you even when you're doing worse. You need to use your second eye and understand that constructive criticism is for your own benefit. Do the right thing for the people of Liberia who elected you and entrusted their confidence in you. This rice issue will be a breaking point. Take it seriously. Dismiss who you need to dismiss and take actions for the benefit of the Liberian people. Do not listen to the Kef Hassans of this world. If I were you, I would listen to the Mariah Yakulas of this world and do what you need to do for the people who elected you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariah. Thank you. Let me say this. Let me say this real quick.
10 seconds.
I will give you a 10-second cap. I promise you, I beg you. I'm not kidding. Don't listen to Gustin Papi Flomo. I'll give you a 10-second. I'll give you an announcement real quick, Sinto Money.
Yes, okay. It's good you put it there. Our late Liberian journalist Philip Wisset family wanted to announce about his memorial service Saturday, October 15 in Williamsburg, New Jersey. We'll put it on our spawn page too. So they want to pay our respect to our late Liberian journalist Philip Wisset, who all know from the Inquirer newspaper, to his family. We want to say our condolences again. We'll put on our page. Thank you, Stenda.
Thank you very much. Please remind us we'll run this thing. We know the family. Our condolences to Sister Plat. We know the children. Again, we have that family relationship. I'm not too well. I will be paying her a visit once I get better. My mother, my sister, the family have called them. And we will be there by God's grace, my wife, my family, and myself. So again, on behalf of the Witherspoon family, from my end, we extend our deepest condolences to the wife and the children. And we will be there by God's grace. So Sister Pla, the daughter Oga, the other daughter, and the entire family, we wish them well. Thank you very much. We'll run this, put it on our page.
Prayers for the Liberians living in Florida and the hurricane.
Yes, I couldn't travel to Florida this week. Usually I go on Tuesday. I think I have hit category 5, and I know all the places I go: Naples, close to Fort Myers, West Palm Beach, the Miami area, not the Liberia Miami now, the Florida Miami, Fort Lauderdale area, all those places. We have No, that's the Florida Miami, not Labrador Miami, and it's very serious. It's
They kept laughing.
category 5, and we have to keep them in prayer. I reach out to my staff. I reach out to my friends, to my partners. They all left the Naples area. From Fort Lauderdale, Fort Myers coming down to Naples to go over all the way to 75. They left, they found a way into Georgia. Yet
That's good
still,
because
it's
I
very
understand the
serious.
governor said there's no more time for people to leave.
As of
God will pray for you and your family, yeah?
As of yesterday evening, but yesterday thing some of them was complaining about, and we had to come in, Mariah, is that okay, you want me to leave, but I don't have money. All right, you want me to leave and go where? One,
Right.
people have to drive because airline couldn't operate. Two, hotels were all booked from Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina. All the hotels are filled, so people will be sleeping in the car. We need to pray for them. We really need to keep them in our prayers. And we listen. I reached out to my staff. They are doing extremely well. They are all bunkered in, and we hope that this weather will pass over. Guys, thank you for a wonderful show. We'll be here again tomorrow to discuss the issue. May God bless you.
Against their promises.
May God
Your
keep
promise?
you. My promise to you is not a real promise. May God guide you all. Kev Hassan, you know you're my brother. I love you to death, but we gotta go.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Yeah.
Yes, a special one from the CEO.
Thank you very much, guys. That's a good show tonight. We look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. We wish your son well. Again, Aaron Kuban. We hope the little man is doing extremely well. James, good day. Thank you. And I will see you guys tomorrow by God's grace. Bye-bye.
Okay, folks. There you have it. Spoon Talk. Thanks to the entire team, the CEO, and all of those on the panelists. That's the panel, including the panelists. Let's say good evening. Thanks to all of you. Good night on my end. Thanks to James too as well. And bye bye.
What is happening in Africa?